Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday evening to you. It's 6:01 p.m. Here over on the West Coast. I'm Mark Sugiyama up here in Seattle, Washington from Eclectic Arts. And this has been quite the week for pretty obvious reasons. There's been a lot of things going on for me personally that's made me want to drink heavily. I don't know if I necessarily will, but I do have my beer already going. And this is the Fun Table Sessions. This is round 1 of 2021. And I suppose it's not too late to be able to say Happy New Year to people. It's kind of weird to think that just last Friday, a week from yesterday, it was the New Year, the 1st. And my sense of time is still all messed up from last year, and it seems like it's continuing right into 2021. So maybe you kind of feel the same way. Thank you for joining us if you're here in real time, or if you're going to be joining us, down the road when you have time in your schedule to check things out. I'm always looking forward to doing these. They're a lot of fun. These are not formalized interviews. These are virtual happy hour hangout chat sessions, is kind of how I put it. People that have different artistic backgrounds from different areas of the country and sometimes even the world. We kind of come together, sometimes 2 guests, sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 guests. And we just kind of hang out and talk about different things and try to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of levity, especially during this time. It's kind of hard to find sometimes, but it's definitely needed. And I'm just kind of glad to be here. So I was just thinking the last time I did a fun table, it was 2 weeks ago. It was the 26th. It was the day after Christmas. As always, I just kind of playing things by ear with my schedule. I have a lot of responsibilities in the new year now that I didn't have before. So when I can schedule things, I'm obviously going to do that. And so coming up, there's at least one interview that is set because I know I have the time. And that's going to be on the 18th, which is the Monday. That's a holiday here in the U.S. for most people. And there's actually should be... I think there's another interview the very next day on the 19th when I have a little gap of time in the afternoon. And then there's supposed to be a 3rd interview actually next week once I kind of get that confirmed with everybody, that, the person that's involved with that. And then there should be at least a 4th one. Hi, Industrial Girl. Good to see you. Hopefully things are, good down in East LA, and Happy New Year to you. I do plan on trying to... Hi, Captain Blackwood. Happy New Year to you as well. Good to see you down in Las Vegas, land of lost wages. There's at least 3 interviews that should be happening. Well, 2 of them will be happening. The 3rd one I hope will happen, and then the 4th one is going to be a continuation interview that I just have to talk with the guest to make sure we kind of have our time zones and everything connected. So there should be at least 4 interviews coming up in January. Everything else, again, is just kind of playing it by ear. If I did this for a living and all that kind of thing, that would just be hitting it hard and scheduling all kinds of interviews. But reality is that you got to do what you got to do to make ends meet. And I'll still be fitting this in. Like I mentioned back in December, I'm not really going anywhere. So that's kind of where things are at. So let's bring in our guests for this first Fun Table session of 2021. And we have a repeat offender, and we have 2 brand new guests to the Fun Table proceedings. So let's start with our repeat offender. She has been a part of the Fun Table sessions at least once, twice, 3 times? Let's see. Do I have that right? Well, I can think of at least 2 times. And she's also been interviewed on the virtual tour with Alice. And she's an amazing singer with the U.S. Army Band. And she has an extensive opera background. And I know she's done some dance and some acting. And I think some reality TV came into that conversation at one point, and just has her hands on all kinds of things. She's always a ton of fun when she's here. Has a great personality. She's over on the East Coast in Maryland. So let's first welcome in Nicole Bouffard. I'm sitting here like someone's going to do this for me. Oh, my gosh.
Hi.
Hi, Nicole.
Where's my music? Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. I'm waiting.
You're going to be waiting for a while, unfortunately.
I like the intro, though. The intro was really cool.
Oh, yeah. What's nice is that I was telling one of our other guests that there was an audio issue on my end using this platform, and then they fixed it. And when they fixed it, it also fixed these other features that I can now do. So that's why I can do those videos and things from my phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I was like,
Great.
oh, I can sit here and like create some stuff for these fun tables, and when I do interviews, I can actually put clips in there and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Perfect.
because it
It's
used to be,
perfect.
yeah, it used to be that I'd have to have the phone vertical to do those functions. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to have my
Right.
like that. So even if I just wanted to, well, let's see, do this kind of,
Yeah. Do something.
I can do that now.
Hmm.
Take them off and all that. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
there's more features. But yeah, I was going to say before we get to our other bringing in our other guests, I enjoyed your performance that you had of "Oh Holy Night."
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I,
you.
sometimes it's so nice to be able to industrial go fancy. Yeah, but by my standards, it is fancy
It's fancy.
for someone without a laptop. um, but it's always nice, getting a chance to know somebody, but then actually seeing them in their craft. Doing that, it's really awesome to hear you sing and sing that particular song. So that was great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. And let's see, let's bring in our next guest, who is also Mark has learned the technology. I don't know if I'd go that far. I've learned a little bit. So I guess that's always something. She was a guest on I want to say the second leg of the Alice tour in the summertime. Is an amazing singer, songwriter, illustrator, and always a lot of fun. I've had a chance to see her perform live, obviously pre-pandemic, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to see her perform live again post-pandemic. So let's bring in Katie Cuffle.
Hello.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm good. And just like that, here I am.
Yeah, out of thin air. And are you actually in Seattle? Because I remember when we did the interview, you were actually like somewhere else in the summertime.
Yeah, I am in Seattle now, back on the home turf.
Okay. Nice. And yeah, we'll definitely talk about, I know you've released some new music. We'll get into that and everything else with all of our guests. So I'm just glad that you're here. Welcome to your first Fun Table session.
Thank you. I'm ready.
Awesome. And so let's bring in our third guest. If you've been a part of the Alice virtual tour last year, then he was the jack of all trades. He was handling the camera work and video work and music and just anything you can think of. Probably prop building is my guess, just to make anything happen. So I'm really glad that he gets a chance to also join the Fun Table for the very first time. And so let's bring in Carl Garcia. Da-da-da. There he is.
Hey.
Hey.
Ooh, caught you there.
Yeah, no.
How we doing?
All right, we're good. We're ready now. Yeah.
How you doing down there, Carl?
Doing just fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there up here. Thanks for asking, for sure.
Of course.
And hi, Wonder. Good to see you in the comments. So she's saying hi to Katie.
Oh, we got
Hey,
comments?
Wonder.
Yeah.
We got comments.
Yeah. So you can see the comments as we're kind of going along. Yeah.
I just recognize all these names from the tour. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey. So excited for like any portion of human interaction that we can get.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
One comment. Oops. Turn that. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah, you got the comments going. I can highlight them when I decide to or remember.
If you're chosen.
Yeah, if you're chosen. So yeah, I'm just really glad that everybody could be here and we get a chance to hear from everybody about what they're doing and how they're just hanging in there at the beginning of this 2021. I know talking pre-show, some people are doing better now, and some people like me are maybe not doing it as good, but we'll get better. I know it's just kind of temporary. And so and just like I don't want to start off on too serious of a note because typically we don't do that, but during the Alice tour, all these things were going on in society, obviously, last year. And so sometimes it's like you couldn't get around it. You had to talk about things for a little bit and then kind of move on to hopefully maybe lighter topics. And I just know I was actually so I've had this inner ear thing going on since December. And I was actually at the doctor on Wednesday when some of that news, obviously that everybody knows what I'm talking about, broke. So I was like looking on my phone. I was waiting for my appointment. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I actually didn't understand what any of this was, and then my ears throbbing and stuff. I'm like, it's like,
Oh no.
yeah, that's what I associate with what was going on at that time. And then I went into the the actual waiting room, and then I had to put my phone away for a while. So then I was like, well, what's going on now? Once I came back out of there, yeah, hopefully that's some like movie level shit. I mean, I just can't. I just didn't even know what to say when I saw some of those things.
Yeah, and it's hard because I feel like we're already so at capacity in terms of like things like empathy and things that are happening. We've all just been feeling so much for so long that it's, for me, I'm having like, okay, one more thing, got it.
Yeah.
Which is like horrible. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm ever, jaded to this stuff. But after the year we had, it's hard not to be to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of the same thing. It's just like, my plate is already overflowing with stuff. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. That you're at capacity. It's like, well, I don't have any more room in my bandwidth. but but we're gonna throw some stuff on you anyway and see how you deal with it. So,
the cup overfloweth.
The amount of times that I usually repeat to myself, why not? Why wouldn't this happen right now? Is a little overwhelming. Like a few weeks ago, it was like, I read the news every morning. I don't know why I torture myself like that in the morning, but I do. And like, I skateboard a lot. So like I get hurt doing things, but for some reason, whenever I was trying to get from my couch to the kitchen, I stubbed my foot on my table. And that was like the worst pain I ever felt, because it was like fresh from reading this article about what's happening in the world. And then that happened. And I just like sat down on the floor, and I was just like in pain with my foot. And I was like, why? Why not?
Why not?
Why wouldn't this happen right now? This is amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like the epoch of Murphy's Law.
Right. Or some really bad karma. I don't know.
That's definitely that, probably.
Like, what did I do? Like,
do you ever do that though? It's like when something like you get hurt or something like that. It's like, wait, do I deserve this?
Oh yeah.
I think I might.
I need some type of cosmic justification.
There's a good chance that I deserve this, but I'm not sure.
Self-hatred comes in with the artist thing.
No, never heard of it.
I deserve it. All of this.
I'm sorry.
Cara, what you're talking about, I can totally relate to that, because the kind of week I've been having, it's like, what else could happen? And so I've got this like 6-foot lamp, and I need to change the light bulb. And I went to grab the it's like a plastic ring around the outside of it. I literally grabbed it, and then it broke off. And then like something like out of a movie, and actually started to disintegrate in front of me. It went out, and everything fell down.
God.
Yeah, I was looking at that like
yeah. Really?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so,
that feeling is.
Oh man.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like I'm just waiting for like the sun to fall out of the sky kind of thing next. Because
And not be surprised.
It's
Like, well, if it did, at least you would be prepared for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We've seen the movies.
Yeah.
We know.
We know where
what
this
happens.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has been having just like recurring weird stress dreams. Just not about anything that you're doing, but it's always just like something happening. And for me, it's either I, for some reason, have to jump out of a moving vehicle. It's like, get me off this ride. Or it's, last night I had a dream that every 4 years, the Earth had to go through a different black hole. And I was the only one being sent back in time to experience it every 4 years. It was like some crazy sci-fi thing. But
there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, let's not get into it. But
I love
but
it.
If anyone else has had any just like crazy, weird, I think probably COVID stress, political stress dreams, I'd love to hear about them.
I had a dream that I wrote a letter to Tom Hanks and he didn't write me back.
Oh, that's rude.
So,
but he did have COVID. So.
I kind of feel like I need to play this one out, And then like later on in my dream, I had a homework assignment due, but I don't know for what school that I was going to. It's just like I just knew that it was in my calendar that this was due this day, and I didn't know what it was. And I was like, oh God! So I'm like going through my papers, and then luckily I woke up and I was like, don't ever want to do that again. That was awful.
I thought I got out of that.
I thought I got out of that years ago. I mean, like last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Nicole, you been okay over there? You been having stress streams at all, or?
You know, I was doing so freaking good last year. Like, I loved it. I was so happy, but I think I just burnt myself out because during the holidays, I crashed and I was like, I don't want to go anywhere except bed. Like, I don't want to do anything. So I feel like I skipped where everyone was freaking out and I just pushed it to a later date and then had mine during Christmas. And then I was like, okay, fuck my life. I'm getting better. But yeah, so it was like a delayed reaction for me. Still a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely getting those stress streams now.
They'll keep coming.
Oh, right.
Let
Okay.
me tell you.
Okay.
They'll get
Yay.
weirder.
They'll get weirder. We'll write them down and we'll make songs.
Yeah,
That's what
there we
we
go.
do. Yeah.
There you go. And speaking of songs, Carl, I see you have guitars and stuff on your walls.
Oh,
so-
yeah.
Oh, these old things?
I should have. Damn it! There was such an opportunity to just be completely dumb. It's like, wait, what?
Like, oh.
Yeah, no. This one, most of the instruments in here actually belong to my girlfriend. A couple of them are mine. That black one, that's an acoustic / electric bass guitar. That one's mine.
That's cool.
And my cello is in the other room because there's just not enough room for it in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I got
Yep.
yeah, cello player too.
Got one back. Yeah.
And they're just scattered all over the place. And my girlfriend just had her birthday a day or two ago, and I got her a mandolin. And when I say got her, I mean I got us because I'm playing it too.
Let's be real.
So we're kind of getting overwhelmed with instruments right now.
What a
And-
problem to have, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's such a good problem to have.
I love that.
Just not
Love
enough
it.
space. It's like, all right, we got to start hanging them on the walls now, and
That's
it's
great.
It's pretty great. Yeah. I think
Does
I got
it
a
ever
boron in here,
happen?
too.
Does it ever happen where like it'll be like 2 months since you've picked up one of them and you feel really guilty suddenly, and it's like,
Of
I'm
course.
sorry. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
man.
I'm so sorry. I will get back to you soon.
Oh,
I don't love you any less. It's like this. I personified them.
No, I
all.
love you all the same. Yeah.
I'm just going through a period right now.
I don't like you, ukulele. That's
No,
my-
yeah, I had that same. It's funny you bring that up because I had that same like thought process a few days ago because like I've been playing like the stringed instruments, but I also have a boron drum that I started getting really good at, and then I just kind of dropped it, and I haven't gotten back into it yet. But I'm pretty sure once St. Patrick's Day comes around,
that's the
figure
hand
something
drum, the Irish hand drum.
it's the one that's on the side, and
That's
all
These
that
are
cool
awesome.
So
Oh,
what?
it's so much
So
fun.
we're all like multi-instrumental people. I want to know what you play, Katie. By the way, Katie, I think I saw you sing on the Alice's. I think you had a really nice video. Did
Yeah, I did.
You're
like, a little
amazing.
Studio situation.
I was in awe of your voice.
Thank you.
I
It's
loved it.
hilarious because in my normal voice, I sound like a little cartoon. So
That was a beautiful
oh,
video.
thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, in terms of instruments, cello, piano, I've got a banjo over here. I can play the guitar, but I would not say I am a guitarist. I used to play Shona style marimba for a long time, which is a South African style of marimba.
oh,
And
That's
then
Ding, 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 ding.
also some koto music, which is a Japanese zither,
Mhm.
which is super fun. It's super cool.
So neat. I love that. I love that instrument. I've never played it or touched one, but they're so cool.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like just anytime you take someone who was like raised in a very Western tradition and throw them on like a non-Western instrument, there's like such a transition of disconnect and having to unlearn how to think about certain types of music. And I love that. I like that kind of like discomfort in a
Yeah.
way.
That's amazing.
But, yeah.
Yeah, because the scales don't exist and it's not the same.
Yeah. Or like,
Yeah.
you know, like microtones in like Indian music that like sound sharp or flat to Western ears and all that other stuff. So
Amazing.
I could go on and on about all this stuff. I love, you know, world music. I also don't love that term, but
That's a term.
it's like, yeah, there's music everywhere.
Oh, I love that too. Yeah, I had a goal once when I was a kid. I was like, well, maybe not a kid, but young adult. It's like, I'm going to collect every instrument. I'm going to have so many instruments. But it didn't happen. I have a guitar and a piano. And a ukulele.
That's a good start.
We call
And
that
a rain
focus.
stick. I have a rain stick too. Yeah.
Dude,
music.
What size rain stick do you
It's
have?
a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, sorry. I have an aside about rain sticks.
Who doesn't, though?
I never thought I'd hear that sentence in my life. I would just say.
So I have two older brothers. I'm like the youngest baby. And I had one of my brothers tell me when I was really little that rain sticks were filled with human fingernails.
Ew.
And so for the longest time, I think straight up until I was like in late high school, early college or something, I like believed it because for some reason I heavily believed it as a child and then just never second guessed it. So yeah,
gross.
I'm glad to learn that it's different.
I hope that didn't come out in the way of like, that has human fingernails, right?
Oh, of
And
course
someone's
it
like,
did.
Of course.
Of course it did. I was like, oh, cool. Great.
I mean, I've never seen the inside of a rain stick before.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Do we know?
No. I don't know.
Rain stick makers in the
Mark?
comments, please tell us.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what's inside.
Probably beans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Beans.
like black beans, black-eyed
Black beans.
peas.
Yeah. How does it
pinto,
work?
Like,
And it has
Is it-
noctis on the
can you
inside.
change the beans for different frequencies?
Oh,
Like,
so
Okay,
is
like
it-
different big beans versus
yeah,
small beans.
exactly. If
Wow.
they're refried, does it just have like a sludge sound to it? Like, there's a lot to unpack here. This is great.
That's so gross.
Dude, I need to go look up like an internal diagram of a rain stick real quick. So I'm
Man,
just
this
gonna
is
be
the
doing
thing. This is going to be the new instrument. I'm telling you. It's
a well-placed
underappreciated.
rain stick. It's like, it's what chimes want it to be. Like,
Right? But chimes are just so annoying. They couldn't make the cut.
oh, you just keep ringing.
Yeah.
Come on, get
Stop.
out of here.
Get it together, Chimes.
Rain stick is subtle.
Find
Subtle
your inner
ambiance.
rain stick.
Musicians are very serious, and artists are very serious, and art is very serious. So,
Mm.
Yes, this is a
Serious?
serious
In case it's not
discussion about the
obvious.
internal rain stick. Long hollow tube, partially filled with small pebbles. Beans! Beans! Yeah.
beans, pins or thorns, arranged
Inside the surface.
helically. That is a great word.
Like in a spiral.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Captain Blackwood.
Yeah, thank you.
That was amazing. We were right.
Oh.
Oh, you were. I wasn't.
Yeah. Our
Yeah.
huge
No
human
sludge.
brains.
I was just virtually nearby when you said it, so.
Virtually.
I listened the whole time.
Yeah.
It's kind of true though, because I think back I had to do an elementary art class, and one of the projects was kind of creating this small, maybe like, I don't know, foot-long rain stick. And we actually used dried beans in it. Now that I think about it, little did I know that's what's in the actual one.
And you
Why
sat on
not?
this information the whole time.
Mark.
I know, Mark.
I-
You're just playing us
Here
for
we are.
fools.
Mhm. Mark's just like, yeah, I know. I'm gonna let him have at it. I'll chime in later.
This is great entertainment.
I could actually go along with that, but anyone who knows me now, in truth, I didn't fucking remember anything. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my memory is so shot. It's just ridiculous. Pandemic or not, I still think it's just because once I hit 50, like a switch went and said, yeah, we're going to take like half your memory away from you.
Oh gosh, don't say no. I
Uh,
believe it though.
oh my God, let's
What's
see.
that
What
do?
is
Ooh.
that?
What's
I
that?
missed too much going to private Catholic
Catholic
school.
school.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
They didn't have it. They don't have They didn't have music. Maybe they didn't value the music classes as much.
Could be. Yeah.
No, but they got church services and everything. That's really important for.
If you want to
This
play
is
an
a
organ.
Catholic school.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
as someone who is a recovered Catholic, I can say that it was it's not like fun music. Like, I think the one fun thing was like there was one song where we could clap twice, and that was like the big deal.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of like organ and singing and That was it.
Yeah, a lot of white.
And then and then someone would like spray some water on you.
Right.
Oh God.
Wave some incense.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I've
Yeah,
sung in lots of Catholic churches.
yeah, I grew up
Great
Lutheran, which was
acoustics.
like a watered down Catholic, basically.
Catholic light. Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
just 2 sacraments instead of 7, and but we still had the organ and the candles,
Mm-hmm.
and
Not the incense.
it was just a matter of like staying awake through all of the stuff and everything.
Did you have like the little bell that would ring periodically? The diddling.
No, we had a bell tower outside, but that's as far as the bell went. Like we did like the acolytes, which is the ones that lit the candles, and I forget the name of the person who carried the giant cross down the aisle at the beginning of the
Yeah, the
service.
altars. You had altar servers and stuff.
I was an altar server.
Dude,
actually.
me too.
And here we are.
You survived. You're
A
okay.
heathenous
God.
bunch.
Yeah. See what it does.
In case this is probably shocking, but I really loved attention as a child. So when I was an altar server, I was like an 8-year-old little girl, and I wouldn't do it unless I got to carry the big cross, which is heavy. And so
Yeah.
I'd go through and I'd just be like kind of wobbling with it. And like, I think you could do some serious damage with that thing.
Oh
Like,
my God, yeah. Yeah, that thing's not
I'm
light.
not messing around.
Like ours was like, I mean, God Almighty, it was. I don't know how heavy it actually was, but at the time I was like thinking to myself, "Oh yeah, I got this," and you had to hold it like with one hand upside down like that, and the other one right there, and I was like, "Okay, we're gonna set that down until we're
Yeah.
ready to go."
The
All right.
Catholics, it's like any chance to remind you how heavy your sin should feel.
Oh man,
And
yeah.
I say it with
Oh my
love. I say
God.
it with so much love.
No, when I was
God.
doing that job, that was the first time I really got self-conscious, actually, because I remember we were the service was going and everything, and as the altar child, you had to sit up there at the altar the whole service. And I remember I was sitting there, and my pastor, he's the nicest guy in the world, came and sat next to me, and we're just sitting there letting somebody read from the Bible, and he just kind of he hands me with those little Listerine pack like strips, right? And I'm just like, no, I'm okay. And he's like, trust me, take one. I'm like, okay, and just like I don't know what to like. So I guess my
Sir.
breath was like really bad or something like that. But I was glad that he was
Trust
honest
me.
with me at that moment. That's just
Maybe
like-
he was just also really tired, and he was like, "We gotta wake up here. Like this
Maybe.
is dragging on. This is
I don't know,
hour, like
but-
what feels like 6."
I took it the wrong way, definitely, and I still scream into my pillow at night sometimes. Because of it.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those memories that'll just creep up when you don't want like an embarrassment from eons
Oh.
ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So bad.
Oh.
Or it's like 2 a.m. and you can't sleep. It's like, remember that time your breath smelled really bad? It's like, oh God. No,
I'm human.
just
I'm
human,
triggered.
I don't know.
hmm
Very triggered right now.
Oh wow.
And how do you segue?
Yeah, so much to as Carl, so much to unpack from the last 29 minutes.
Yeah, this is becoming like I can't afford to go to therapy, so this is my therapy right now.
Oh, definitely,
You know,
yeah.
like,
Definitely.
with this healthcare system, nah.
Nah.
No,
Oh
just
my
do a fun
God.
table. You're good.
Yeah,
Oh
drink
yeah.
some wine.
Yeah. I love that.
Mhm.
See, that should happen. And it is, so we're good.
Mhm. Yeah, here we are.
And here we are.
Now, Nicole, I'm not trying to pry, but what's on your back walls
Oh,
behind you?
oh, yay. I'm glad you asked, Mark. That is Ani DeFranco back there, who is
Oh.
was my idol.
Yes.
Is my main influence for my personal music. That is my favorite opera role that I played, Lucia and Lucia de Lammermoor, and that's an art piece I got off of Etsy. So it's like someone's like art poster for that opera.
Mm-hmm.
And then another role that I've never sung in full, but the main opera, the main aria I sing a lot from Rigoletto is there. So
Awesome.
another art poster.
And have
That's
those
amazing.
have those always been there since we've been doing these?
Yeah. Yep.
So the first one I did with you was back in August. So those were there then. I just didn't notice them.
Yeah.
Great.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Nicole, how did you get into opera? Like, that is so interesting to me. And like, what was that path like?
Well, I'm kind of curious about you guys playing the cello too, because, well, my path was musical theater. Well, I started off with guitar and songwriting and stuff when I was young. And then I got into musical theater, and I did musical theater, and I just had like a high voice. So I was like, people were like, you should sing opera. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sing opera. So I was like 16 and started taking opera lessons, and yeah, just went from there.
Was there like a point where it like clicked and you were like, I love this? Like,
oh yeah.
Or was it
of
like
those.
immediate off the bat? Or
It was one of those things where it was like, this is something that the people, at least I was around at the time, no one could do it. So it was like, it felt
awesome.
really good to be like, I have these huge high notes that like no one like has around me. So I'm going to sing really loud all the time.
Yeah, that's amazing though. Like, that's so cool to have that experience.
Yeah, I love singing opera. I'm lucky in my job now. We sing everything, so from pop to rock to, gosh, we did Hamilton. We did some Hamilton stuff, but I get to do some opera too, so that's good.
Right.
But yeah, I got both my degrees in that. So I was going to ask you guys: did you do any classical in your schools? Did you go to school for classical music, or no?
You go first.
Okay. We're both like,
And I was like, oh no, did I say something wrong? I'm sorry. It's okay.
No, so I am, no worries. So I grew up playing cello. I saw in like a first grade music class, my friend, who I'm still friends with, his name is Elliot, bring his cello, and he played like London Bridge is Falling Down and other first grade bangers. This Old Man, all that stuff.
I want that album like, really bad.
Banana slugs for us.
Yeah. And I was like, that's my shit. Mom, I want to play the cello. And, you know, I had two older brothers, and they had gone through like drums and like bass, and no one had stuck with anything, you know, and the cello is like an inexpensive instrument. And so it took 2 years of asking until my parents would let me play it when I was like 8, and showed you, Mom, who's the most supportive person in the world. But, you know, I had kind of a weird upbringing with cello. I played with a lot of different types of music. And I had a teacher who was very flexible, because I was I didn't do well with a lot of structure as a kid. And so I was able to play, I played a lot of gypsy jazz. I played in this Peruvian doomgrass band. I played bluegrass music and classical music. And so it was both the classical side and also that ear training side, which is something that I think a lot of classical upbringing can lack. And then I did go to school for 2 years. It wasn't for me. I went to University of San Francisco for a year, and then I went to Lewis and Clark for a year, where I was a composition major, and I had been the first female composition major they'd had in 5 years.
Oh my God.
And it was just this boys club toxic area, and so I dropped out and decided to make money doing other stuff. So and now I feel like it was the best decision I could have made. So I feel like I learned so much more just playing with people that were better than me, as opposed to doing that particular path for what I wanted to do.
Right. That's amazing. That's so interesting. I love it.
I got to follow that.
Hey, it was your choice, man.
No, okay. All right. So I got into cello, and this is how it happened. Don't judge me. I went to a school in Arlington, Texas called Duff Elementary, and our 5th and 6th grade years, you were able to play in either orchestra. In 5th grade, you can only play an orchestra, and in 6th grade, you can play an orchestra or band, like brass instruments and everything. And 5th grade came around, 4th grade came around. Let me start at the beginning here. And this girl that I had a crush on so hard at the time, I overheard her saying that next year for 5th grade, she was going to play cello. So I was like, all right.
Playing the long game there, dude.
Yeah. No,
I play cello too.
I was playing chess at that time. It's all good.
Oh God.
We're gonna unpack that after the story.
No, we're gonna move on from that. But yeah, so 5th grade came around, and I asked my parents if I could join orchestra. They were thrilled that I asked, and everything, which was great. They were so supportive of it. And then 5th grade came around, and the first day of orchestra came, and she decided to go with viola instead. And I was sitting there with this cello, and I was like, all right, I may as well give it a shot, I guess. And thank God I did, because it is still one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life from that moment on. I played all through the rest of elementary school, middle school, and high school. And then I moved to Los Angeles to be an actor, and I didn't think I was going to need to play my cello anymore, so I didn't bring it, which I still regret, because that was like 3 years where I never touched it, never practiced, never did anything, and all of my skill that I had in high school just went away. And luckily, that's whenever I met Natasha from the lead singer of Alice. And her and I just immediately became friends, and she was saying that she needed a cello part for this thing. And I was like, oh, I totally play. Oh God, I gotta get my cello and start practicing again. And
every musician knows that. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Scramble.
Yes.
All right, scramble. Okay, scales: G major, C major. Okay, cool. We're going to the minor scales. Cool, we got this. All right. And luckily, I was able to fake my way through it enough to where that's where I met Scott for the first time, Gordon for the first time. I hadn't met Steve yet. There was a different drummer at the time, and then it just unraveled to where it is today. And I still practice as much as I can. And I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything with it, but I thoroughly enjoy just playing the instrument.
Yeah, I strongly believe that, like, and this is probably the same for you, Nicole, that like it's what we have focused on music-wise has opened so many weird doors for us that we never would have even considered. And it's, it's like the way for me that I have been able to like move through the world through just like playing cello or like random things and meeting random people through that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, whatever you do, just go hard.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. It doesn't matter really what instrument.
Thank goodness, because like I couldn't imagine not having the instruments. Like I just couldn't imagine not having it right there, because it's in my corner right now, just ready to be played whenever I want to. So I guess I got to really thank the members of Alice for that, because if I hadn't met them, I don't know if I would have picked it back up. Members of Al. Crying out loud. I think I met them in late 2011. So holy crap, 10 years now.
Yikes.
Oh man, that's
happy anniversary, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, 10 years. Holy Christ.
That is a long time.
It's been a minute. But yeah, no, they were doing a show at Bar Sinister over here in Los Angeles, and well, you know the place?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Such a cool
I went
spot.
to their show there. Yeah, goth spot.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I felt really
like
at home there. It was great.
Yeah, like this. No, like really like this.
Yeah, it's just like, and then you go into like the main room, and everybody's just, not even caring. Just dancing.
Actually, those are pretty. When I went to see them there, it was pretty cool. The whole aesthetic.
Yeah. But yeah, I met them in 2011, and I kind of forced my way into their group, and I kind of just made them stick with. And then because of that, because I started with them in 2011, that's kind of whenever I started to get to know Sasha a little bit more, because I met her at a theater that I was stage managing at before I even met Natasha. And then Labyrinth of Jareth came up, and I started playing with them for that. And then flash forward years later, we did a cover of Kashmir by Led Zeppelin for the live show. And then I met one of my good friends, Seth, there, like just so many amazing musicians that we just met. And this whole world has just made sure that music stays in my life, and I love every second of it. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I miss it so much.
Jinx.
I
Jinx. You're making the girls cry. Stop.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, I'm not wearing waterproof mascara. Come on.
I'm wearing waterproof
Smudge
mascara
it.
too. It's all
Smudge it.
good. That's
Smudge
why I wear my
it.
glasses so you can't see my smudges.
I do miss that though.
Mm-hmm.
I got no crew over here. Y'all gotta come over here.
Oh no, and I got as far as everything goes, I don't mean to brag, but I lucked out so much getting to know
Brag
them
away.
because I was whenever we were doing the tours over the last year, I had a front row seat to a live concert like every single day. And it was really weird because I had one hand on a camera and the other hand on like a switchboard and everything. And I was also like typing with everybody, trying to make sure that everybody was staying interactive and having a good time.
Mhm.
But every once in a while, I'd look up from the screen and I would see Sash and Tosh there. I would see Gordon over there, Steve back there, and Scott just like wailing on the guitar. And it was just like, oh, this is a concert right now.
Oh wait, this is fucking
really
awesome.
cool. This is really fucking cool. Oh man. Yeah.
And then back in.
And then just back. Oh yeah, I got to focus because I just missed the channel switch right there.
Hey, that means that's how good it was. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were so great.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I miss playing with people and going places.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
I know.
One day at a time. It's
We'll get
coming
there.
back.
We're weathering it.
I kind of like the, virtual music stuff. I'm chilling.
Yeah,
But my job's a little more high profile now. Like I really just miss like low key performing and just like emoting and doing what I do. But now it's like the uniform. It's super stressful all the time. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
presidents, and it's just not that every performance is like that, but I kind of like it's not as exciting going back to that. It's more like, oh God.
Oh.
Okay. Ready.
It's like, can we not? Let's just do online stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's, I'm coming from a completely different side of that, where it's like, I probably should have been born as like a jam band baby. Like, I just want to like chill with some dudes and like, we'll just jam till like 2 a.m. and then
Sounds amazing.
have smoke and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy though. So what got you into that?
It's just they recruit people. I mean, you go and you audition for them. So my classical background and they also my group wanted people that were versatile because we do a lot of that high profile stuff, but we also do like a cappella vocal music and rock music.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we do everything. So I shouldn't say I am looking forward to going back to it, although it is a lot of stress. But yeah, so
that is a ton of pressure.
It can be. But we do everything. So they just recruited me kind of. I auditioned and got the job.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, that's good. I love my job. It's a huge honor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge honor.
How many pieces is that band? Like how large is it?
The Pershing Zone U.S. Army Band is about 250 people. We have a full, band. We have a strings element, so we have a string orchestra. We have us. We're a 10-person vocal group. They have the men's chorus is about 25 men. They're great.
Just like that.
Just like that. And then, gosh, there's so many. We have a country band. We got.
They've covered every possible base they could. It's like that's amazing.
Yeah,
whoa.
we all kind of like
know
shift
the
and
scope
work
of it.
together, and we're the musical support for the Military District of Washington. So anything ceremonial, any shows that involve, pomp and circumstance, that's us. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Find us on Facebook.
I know in my mind, I'm like, she's a big kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the real stuff.
Wow. Oh, but I just like sometimes I love it. I I love performing, especially the classical stuff and on big stages. I mean, there's obviously nothing like it, but I miss doing my, metal band, and I miss doing like my burlesque shows. I miss
so they're a little less stodgy,
I miss stuff like that. Yeah. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Carl, this is kind of a segue because Nicole mentioned, having her metal band when she was down in LA and that kind of thing. And obviously some of the people in the chat right now know you as Metal Moo. Yeah, I don't know if Nicole and Katie are up on exactly what that is, but can you kind of give some background on where
you?
where'd that idea come from? How did that develop, the whole Metal Moo persona?
I think Metal Moo was kind of born out of necessity because if I'm not mistaken, it was the first leg of the tour, and we were exhausted.
The bovine. Oh,
what?
Did you? No.
What?
Go ahead. I don't know. I feel like
I'm curious.
We'll confirm soon.
I think I have seen things, but I'm curious. It might not be you. So.
But so it was kind of out of this necessity because we were really, really tired and everything was starting to just get that end of the tour drag to it. And usually we would always do live announcements to announce the next band or whatever. And there was one point where I call out to the house. I was like, okay, who wants to do the announcements? Nobody answered. And I was like, no, guys, we don't have anything pre-recorded. We need to do this. And everybody was trying to be like, well, it's like, who wants to do? And it just became a thing. I think it was I can't remember who did it. So forgive me for not giving credit where credit is due, but somebody mentioned that we should just make one of the puppets do it. Oh, no. And I was like, okay, I got this. And I found the cow puppet that they usually keep in the tour van. And I had to find a voice really quick, so
this is so wholesome.
It's so great. And I ended up using the voice that I use for my dog. Because anytime I'm talking to my
can
dog.
You please give us a demonstration?
Just on the spot. Yeah. So whenever it ended up coming down to the wire, it's just like, okay, everybody, how we doing today? All right, yeah, it's so great. And that's the voice that I usually use for my dog whenever she's begging for food. It's like, look at me, I'm starving to death.
Oh, I'm so sad.
I just ate a whole bowl of kibble and now I'm starving.
What's your dog's name?
Luna. Oh. Yeah, she's a German Shepherd Husky, and she's 70 pounds of pure attitude.
She's a sassy one.
She can be so sweet, but then if she just doesn't get her way over something, forget trying to sleep that night. But
Huskies are vocal.
Weirdly, she's not. She just has this thing that she does where she just invades your space. Mm-hmm. And doesn't really let up. I'll be trying to sit on the couch and she'll get right next to me and do 7 circles right next to me until she finally lays down. And I'm just like, are you good? And then 2 minutes later, she just gets up and leaves. And just it was this whole thing that she had to do to lay down, and then she just leaves. Yeah, power play all day, power play. But yeah,
sorry.
So back over to the to the story. Metal Moo came out of basically necessity, my dog's voice, and everybody on the chat just really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, well, we'll keep doing this, and we ended, and then Gordon ended up coming up with a sheep, I think, a sheep character that some people might remember, and somebody coined the name Metal Moo. So I was like, all right, well that makes sense because he looks really cool and everything. And luckily I was really into metal music and whatnot. So the next tour came around and we actually gave Metal Moo a performance. He just did one song at the very end. I got to do my metal vocals for a little bit and everything as Metal Moo. And then later on, the final leg of the tour, the final tour of the year, Sasha and I, we went and got a bunch of wood and some tools and everything. And we built Metal Moo a stage. And then we gave him a whole and then we gave him a whole segment, and he had a little puppet stage, like we said, Metal Moo across the top, and he got to sing along with the Bash Rock guys. So it was definitely a dream come true, and I'm so glad that I got to do it behind a puppet, because I don't think I would have the nerve to be out in front of that stage to actually make a performance as a vocalist.
That is so good. That's just
yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, let's just try it. Oh, we got to do this now. All right, we'll do that. Oh, we got to do this, and then and now he's got an Instagram. It's crazy.
Yes, it is.
He does.
Yeah.
What's his handle?
Hang on, let me make sure I get this right real quick. So yeah,
get that plug.
Metal Moo Official. All one word. All
Was
lowercase.
there any competition for Metal Moo Official? Did you have to?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I think Natasha set it up, so
Gotcha.
She just gave me the handles, and she's like, "Yeah, just start posting content," and I did. So yeah, there's a fun Instagram for people to
that's
go and look at. Yeah, there it is. That's the right one. Yeah.
I have followed the Metal Moo.
Dude.
Oh, and here come the puns over here. Yeah, every time Metal Moo makes an appearance, like the cow puns just start rolling out, and it's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, and for the Halloween show, we got to do a White Zombie cover. I was really happy about that.
Awesome.
I was hoping Rob Zombie was going to see it. I don't know if he did.
Oh, someone might pick up on that. You never know. That is
if he does, it'd be like, Rob Zombie, I'm an actor too, so put me in your movies.
So like, hey.
So hey, Rob, I need a job.
I'm a level with you.
I'm gonna be honest. We could be honest with each other, right?
I only remember, and that's great getting that backstory, because like for myself doing the Alice tour, I just had my piece, my 30-minute segment of interviews, and then whatever the band was doing, I would see that behind the scenes in terms of the schedule, but I didn't know the details of what was going to go on and who's going to speak when. I'd look over at my laptop, I'd see all Steve's introducing the next person or thanking me for doing what I just did. And I do remember though that day when you did Metal Moo, because I looked at my laptop and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Because I had no idea.
Double take.
Is that a puppet?
Yeah.
And I turned up my volume on my laptop.
Yeah, he was just a puppet. He got to in Metal, and the thing that was really great about that is that we got to host a segment, and we were hosting a segment from metal bands that were from other countries as well. We had a metal band from Algeria. We had metal bands from we found this really cool a Marilyn Manson cover band that played on the show twice. And it was what was their name? Deep Six, that was their name. And it was really cool because we just got to bring everybody together for a metal night. And I love metal music so much. And it was just really cool to just have this just segment dedicated to just crazy screaming, heavy guitar riffs, fast drumming stuff, And
my face hurts from just laughing. Okay, loosen it up.
Yeah, you gotta listen. We still got a long way to go.
If we're gonna make 3 a.m., Mark, geez, who
and
did that? That's not
Pat and Blackwood. Yeah, Mankind is Obsolete played on the on a Metal Moon night too. I think was that all the same night? I think it was. Yeah, it was a night of heavy music. We're gonna have to go back to the archives to make sure, but I think so.
I wonder who was it. All LA local people? No, you said you brought in people too. So
yeah, we had international bands also.
So, but did you have some local LA metal people?
I think Deep Six is local.
Okay.
I think there's still a few things, and that for the Mankind is Obsolete, they actually got John Siren, the drummer, to come back and play the tracks for the MKIO stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool, and we filmed a vegan segment, a vegan cooking segment with him, which was really great. And I went home later that night and cooked it all. And it was so good.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was all just necessity being the mother of invention with this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. What's the future hold for Metal Moo?
He has
Everyone
one more follower.
I guess Metal Moo's got some followers, which is great. I think that's gonna kind of be left up to.
You gotta look at him again.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great,
Go for it.
great picture.
Yeah, we got some videos on there too.
We'll get a custom puppet at some point. Maybe someone will
Maybe.
volunteer.
Here's the
ooh.
stage again.
Yeah, that
there's
yeah, we made like that stencil
amazing.
and everything, and my girlfriend actually painted the metal moo that's on the front.
Oh, nice.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
and it was really great because it was like so many people came together just for that one little thing, and it ended up just looking so cool. But it took way longer than I thought it was going to.
And then you were really in it, and you had
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we were halfway through, and it's like, okay, we're in this now. And Sasha and I were really tired, but we were powering through it because we had just built this giant half clock
Oh, wow.
for everything. And then we had to build the stage, and this all came together like the day of.
Really?
And it was perfect timing. And
I didn't know you guys, or I didn't know they built their own set pieces. I guess you would have to. You have to. I mean, you could hire it out, but why? You know?
No,
Yeah.
we got the tools and everything, and we made it work. Like if you look really closely at it, you can definitely see my shoddy woodwork in it. But from afar, as long as I kept the camera kind of blurry, it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely a semicircle with numbers on it.
You know?
Exactly, the light.
Yeah.
Thanks to Steve, there was very good lighting.
Awesome. That's so cool. Oh, I want to do creative stuff. Creative shit. Come on, let's make stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Like make this light a little better.
Yeah, these people were fantastic and everything. I was just glad to get another metal night because I hadn't been to a metal show since I saw Lamb of God maybe a year before or so. So, yeah.
Wow.
Now that's a religious song. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world.
Then they sing a version of Laid to Rest, which is like just so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, do they have religious? I mean, they'd have to have religious like commentary in there. No, or is that just the name?
No, I think they have a lamb because their original name was Burn the Priest. That was a little intense, but they recently remade some Burn the Priest stuff, which is like awesome. I immediately got that album; it was great.
Nice.
But one of their albums was called Sacraments, and they play into that and whatnot. But a lot of their stuff,
so much rich material there, you know.
It's so great.
So much imagery, so much history, so much like cultural relevance. It's like
yeah, but from what I gather from their stuff is a lot of it is it's punk lyrics with metal music, and I think that's really what I like to draw to. What do we got here? Sorry, I'm reading these.
Oh, that's about stage size. Metal Moo stage size, Captain Blackwood? Is that what you're asking? Maybe. I don't know.
We had to make it small.
Yeah, teeny.
And even though it was small, it still felt like it took up a lot of space.
In your heart.
My heart. It was big in here, yeah.
So Carl, when you were doing the the Rob Zombie Metal Moo cover, were you like you were saying you couldn't do that without Metal Moo, like, as yourself? Were you were you still nervous doing it as Metal Moo though?
Yeah. But not like in the sense that I'm gonna blow my cover here, but I am insanely intimidated by the Alice group.
Me too.
They're awesome. They're so great and they're so sweet, but at the same time they are so freaking talented. And their music is so, and I'm not saying their music is good because I know them. This is stuff that I would listen to if I didn't know them, and it's amazing. And I was so nervous the first time because I didn't have a stage yet. I couldn't hide behind anything. But even on the last leg of the tour, when I did have the stage, even when we were just rehearsing the songs, I still was back behind the stage, just hiding with the microphone and stuff. And I would pop. I was like, "Hey, you guys want to run that again, or you think we're good? Okay, let's run it again. Okay, hang on, let me get down." And I would rehearse from behind the stage. I said it was because I needed to, see what it sounded like, but I was just terrified of them, seeing if I
gotta be doing
or not.
something right now, or else I'm just stuck in my own brain.
Exactly, but they're just all such good musicians that I I was more nervous for performing in front of them than I was for an audience, you know?
Got it.
If I was out there in the open, then it would be them and the audience, because then I could see all the eyes just like...
Are
Some
you someone that
professional
gets the jitters in general? Like for stuff or...
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So much. There was... a few years ago, I was performing As You Like It for the California Shakespeare Company.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing the role of Oliver, and there was this one moment where he had a full-page monologue. It was just him talking for like, I want to say a good 5 minutes or so.
Oh my God.
And the thing is, in rehearsal and on my own and everything, I had words down. I had like all my inflection. I had exactly like the mental space that I needed to be in. all said and done. But then one day, right at the beginning of the monologue, it's just
Out.
Like,
Oh, that's a horrible feeling.
and
Oh,
I'm looking at my co-stars,
it does, yeah.
and I look at them, and I kind of look up here. I'm like, it's gone.
It's not here.
I don't know where it went.
Here.
Come on.
And I was kind of just like, just mumbling my way through it, trying to see if they could like give me like a word, just one word to get back on track.
Mhm.
And I know the whole silence, because one of my friends was in the audience, and the whole silence lasted maybe about 5 to 6 seconds. But in my head, it was an eternity.
Yeah. Because you're
I'm
the
just-
one that's like frantically scrolling.
Exactly.
Like-
And it's just like, no, because I was also doing another Shakespeare play at the same time. I think I was doing the Scottish play, and
Your brain must have been so full.
that monologue, like the floating dagger monologue, was like over there. And I was like, wait, no, that's not the right play. We're doing this play. Oh, no.
Oh gosh.
I don't know where I am.
Oh.
That's
And-
way too much.
And yeah, it's another one of those scream into my pillow at night kind of
Mhm.
things that I still think about.
We all got those. We all got
yeah.
those. So what was the Shakespeare Company?
The California Shakespeare Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like based out of Thousand Oaks and Simi Valley over here.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of I've got some friends that have done Shakespeare in LA. I never
Mhm.
keyed into that group, but I was just wondering.
And chances are we might have crossed paths, because that's a very small
Yeah.
a very small and tight knit community.
Do you know Julia Axe? No?
I think I don't.
No.
I don't think I do.
I'm just curious.
But I'm sure we'll meet each other at some point whenever all the performances come back.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I miss LA.
That sacred day.
Yeah. I miss all the stuff.
Soon.
Soon.
It's funny how just that whole going blank thing again, just harkening back to that. For me, so much performance is muscle memory at some point. And so it's like if I have to start in the middle of something, it becomes really hard because I need that lead up. You
Mhm.
can't just like, you don't know. It's like, yeah, I know it front and back, but only if I start at the front.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
is that the same for you guys at all?
Yep.
Or okay.
Yep, totally.
Yeah, because you learn the beginning. This is how the beginning goes, and that leads into the middle. This is how the middle
like
goes, and then it
triggers it,
leads into
like-
the like they're cues. It's like self cues. It's like, oh, here we are. Well, that was like a minute and a half ago. We can't go back that far.
Okay, I need to mumble the first minute and a half, and then I'll know.
It's been a minute. It's
Yeah.
been a long time. They're
I
all
know.
staring at me. They paid for this show, and I'm fucking it all up right now.
That's just when you go, okay, bye.
You know, there was a part of me that
Scream.
wanted to do that. It's just like, I could give them all a great story right now and just leave.
And run.
just
And
go.
then run.
And then they're going to go home later and be like, God damn, this thing happened at the theater tonight. You know, this actor
Hey,
just
they'll
stopped
never
talking
forget
and left. I don't know why. If only.
Hey,
We're
Yeah.
people too. We're people too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Go ahead, Nicole.
I was gonna say, I find I screw up when I'm the most relaxed. So if I'm nervous, I
Mhm.
do great. But if I am relaxed and like it's the third show that weekend, I'm like, that's when I get that moment where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Mhm. It's like, am I in the right space right now?
Like, what?
Like, who are all of you?
Are you for real? Yeah, that
No,
moment.
yeah, I think I can relate to that because it's whenever you let your guard down.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's where it all kind of
Brain
goes kaput.
somewhere else. You're not as focused.
Yeah.
Get relaxed. You had it in the bag. You were practicing it, like you said. You were like, good. That's when it happens.
I can relate to that only from when I used to play music around town as a duo, and we had done a cover song for I don't know how many times. But then, of course, the one time when we were actually on a proper stage with lights and everything and an audience, I couldn't remember how to actually fret the chord that started the song. I had a total brain fart. My singer's like coming over to me thinking that I didn't remember the lyrics. I remembered the lyrics, but I was like, how does that chord go again? Because it's some kind of augmented thing, and I couldn't figure it out. And she doesn't play guitar, so I'm like, oh shit.
There's no help.
Yeah, and then eventually I just kind of did some sort of like half-assed version of it, and then it kind of got me close enough to start singing the lyrics to my part of the duet. And yeah, I was just mortified. Time stands still, all of that kind of thing. And it wasn't like I was doing like maybe what you guys do when you're in front of hundreds of people. I was only in front of maybe 50 or something, but still, it was like, oh my god, yeah.
Sometimes that's worse.
It's worse.
They're like right there.
All those eyes are on.
Oh yeah, I don't like seeing them.
Those intimate performances.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you're like right there.
Yeah, because you really do have to actively like fill the room. Like you have to like engage it in such like a, I would say in a more energetic way. So it's like it's hard.
Yeah, I remember that because we had a lot of family that showed up too. So it's people that I knew. Which some people think that's easier. I don't think it is. You need strangers. No. You absolutely need strangers to play in front of.
Hello, let me justify my whole career to a bunch of like accountants and
because you're not going to see them again.
Play to the accountants.
Nah, it's fine.
I love that.
Yeah, when it's somebody you're going to have to see them tomorrow, and it's like, so.
Yeah. I just worry that they're not okay somehow. Yeah, I'm thinking about them, not what I'm doing. Like, oh, my mom, where's she sitting? Why is her fit? What? Like, are you okay out there? Yeah.
You ever screwed
all the time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
You become really good at it, I think.
Yeah, I think most of our screw ups are probably undetectable by everyone but us.
Yeah, I'll second
for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I think
it's really fun when you sing in other languages too.
You're like, let me just kind of like, we're back.
Sorry, I don't know if I should tell this story, but I have a singer friend that I would sing with. Oh, I feel so bad. I had an opera company, and I had a lot of friends that would sing with us, and one singer would always, for some reason, change the Italian words to like food words. So we're singing in Italian. It was like burrito. He would forget, and he would use a food word. And I don't even think he like understood or knew what
that is so good.
Filling the spaces in his head with that. And I was like, I remember turning to like the other person that ran the company with me being like, that's like the second like food item, right?
Let's play opera bingo here. Like, okay, check.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Burrito.
Just wonder if anybody in the audience is just like,
it's Italian, right? No.
It's Italian. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's an Italian word. I don't know.
I don't even. Oh, porco. Porco was the other one. It's like, that is not the word you're supposed to be. Oh, God.
That is fantastic.
It is funny sometimes especially when there's like musician friends in the audience and you screw up and there is that like eye contact moment of they know and they know that no one else knows, but they want you to know that they know.
Yeah. They look at you.
They're like, and I'm like,
he's like, deal with it.
They don't know. We know, but they don't.
We have a secret.
Yeah. We have a secret. That's how we're
now
bonded.
Have a story.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Tony, by the way. I know you joined us about 10 minutes ago. Sorry. Thanks for joining us over on the East Coast. Oh, my gosh.
I think my favorite screw up that I knew about that nobody else did was this. We're going to go all the way back to high school right now.
Do it. Unpack.
Unpack all of it. We were doing this play called Our Country's Good, and there was this character that I was playing, and he was kind of a dullard and everything, big surprise, and there was this moment where he was supposed to be, trying to figure out what was wrong with a compass, but the compass was actually just a piece of paper that said north on it, and my character was supposed to hand it to this guy, and he was supposed to explain what was wrong with the compass. And he's like, it's just a piece of paper. And I was like, all right. So one day we wrote hi inside of it. And we gave it to him. And he's like, it's just a piece of paper that says north on it. And we're just like,
What? That's so mean.
That's when you continue that joke to each performance and just see what you can get someone to say if you're in high school.
Yeah, it was great. And like even in professional plays, there's still those things happening, which is just fantastic.
Love that.
And but yeah, that was still one of my favorite things ever, because it was just like this beautiful segue of going from high to north. So it was just like north, right? Like right there, and oh man, it still sticks in my brain so clearly. It was so hilarious.
Everyone, you hear laughter.
I got away with it.
It's like, you did it. We tried to get you, but you were really good. And he was like a better actor than all of us too, so he was fantastic.
Oh man.
I think I learned not to do that after a while. Like when I was really young and like just starting out, like I think the self-consciousness and be like, oh, sorry, or like stopping can happen, but I think you learn pretty quickly that you just gotta like barrel forward because they won't know.
Fake it till you make it. Yeah.
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 Totally.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
There's just so many times it's happened. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're silently all just like on this horrible roller coaster back in time.
Like, which one do we tell?
Oh, I've already told mine. I'm not telling anymore. I'm perfect. Totally perfect.
Same.
Yes. I believe it.
I mean, I want him to still hire me, like, to do another gig, but I guess I'm gonna.
That's your desire. You're going for it now.
Gotta shoot that in the foot right now. Whenever we were doing, like, what I mentioned before, when we were doing the Kashmir performances, I played a completely wrong. Luckily, it worked out because it was the same segment, but I jumped down an extra whole line. Like I want to say I was at least like 5 or 6 bars ahead, and it was all the same thing. But I went into a lower note that was just being held out. It was like a low D that was just being held, and everybody else was still playing another segment. I was just like, we're gonna go back to the top here and kind of figure out where we are. And luckily nobody noticed, but I did, and I was just like,
that panic of figuring that out though is like. Oh, like that's when you're like, I know I don't have the most stressful job in the world, but like right now it really feels like it.
Yeah, I just like went back and it was the same. It was like, luckily it was on the. There was no key change, thank God. But because if there was and I was playing that wrong note, it would have been just so obvious. But luckily it was on the same key, so I was able to figure out where everybody was and just rejoin with them a few measures before, and we were good.
That's good. I bet they didn't even notice. I
mean, they're gonna if they're listening right now, they're gonna think back and they're like, "Oh yeah, he fucked it all up."
There's that self-hatred, huh?
We're our worst critics.
Yeah. Welcome to our world. See this.
Well,
what? Oh, sorry.
No, please go. Mine was a transition.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
transition after.
Okay, I'll point out what Industrial Girl is saying about the joint. Now, doesn't that make you a little paranoid if you were ever, an actor on screen? Like, I feel like I'd want to bring all my own like drinks and stuff because they would just like, I feel like someone would give me something. I don't know why. That's terrifying. Is it illegal? Wouldn't that be illegal to like give him a real joint without him knowing?
It's that's a very bold move that he has a very good sense of humor, because at the end of the day, I don't think like I would be too scared to do that because like I don't know if this person's sober or if
I never want to mess with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've put salt in people's food before on set, but that's about it.
That's bad.
Yeah. Like, and that's just like,
well, yeah,
that's a safe one, but like giving somebody
I never want to
booze
mess
or
with
joint,
your like
headset mindset or something.
Yeah,
Like,
your chemical balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just never know what people are having to figure out with their bodies and stuff, or what their sensitivities are too. So
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for practical jokes, just as long as it doesn't ruin somebody's life.
Right.
Potentially, you know.
Yeah, I have to have a lot of trust for the people.
Yeah, if it was like my bud, like that I've known forever, and they already know all that stuff, I think it's so situational, like, and what's the scenario?
But like being on a big movie set where there's, I have you done film, Carl, in LA or anything? Have you been on set? I've been on some sets, and it just feels like you don't know those people.
No.
Like, what if they were to
for like a day?
Yeah, and you're like, if you're drinking, like, you don't know. Like, stories like that freak me out.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know who the grip guy is, or the, what I mean?
No. Yeah, no. The closest that somebody ever played a joke like that on me was I did I can say it now because it's been years, but I did a Coca-Cola commercial a while that never aired, unfortunately, and. In the commercial, I'm taking the rabbit out of the hat here. All of the cans were filled with soda water, so we could just do take after take after take after take.
Yeah.
And around like hour 9 or so of the first day of shooting, somebody switched it out for a real Coke, and I wasn't expecting it, so I kind of did a little bit of, like one of those, and it was hilarious, but At the same time, that was like a safe one, and I'd been getting to know everybody on set, but if it was somebody that I didn't know,
it's like I don't know if they're diabetic or like all that stuff.
I would still have a sense of humor about it, but I would still be like, thinking back, it's like, oh, that was a ballsy move right there,
I did a student film, and I think this is why I feel so paranoid about that. And because we went on set, and obviously I didn't know any of the other actors, and the actor I'm supposed to get shot. My character was supposed to get shot, and the actor that shot me brought his actual gun.
No.
And was like, and they all came around me like, no, look, there's no bullets in it. Like, I'm like, and at that point I hadn't been in the military. I knew nothing about that stuff. Like, now I would know.
Yeah, that's still really scary though.
But and they were like, no, look, it's fine. I was like, okay. No, it's not. I mean, like, to this day,
spray paint a Nerf gun like everybody else.
Oh my God, or get like an airsoft gun or something.
Isn't that crazy? And this guy was all like machismo about it. He's like, oh, don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of this. Oh,
come on, man.
I'm gonna.
That's what happened to Brandon Lee. Like that's what happened to Brandon Lee on the set of The Crow.
Right.
That's how he acted. It was a complete accident. Obviously,
I should have left, but now.
It's a real gun, but what could go wrong?
Why?
But that's another thing. It's like in that moment, it's really hard to like be able to be like, hey, this isn't okay, because of like the professional setting, and you're like, I have to do my job here.
Right.
Yeah,
and you have to trust the people that are in the leadership above you to make those choices. And unfortunately, no one in that situation was really on my side. They were like, "Oh, it's a gun!" Yeah.
Oh man.
So
I'm
yeah, I get a
sorry
little.
that happened though.
Yeah,
No.
I get a little weirded out about stuff like that. Like, oh, giving you a
Of
joint. Like, no,
course.
if I'm ever on a set again, I'm buying my own drinks. I'm buying my own stuff. Like, I don't know these
Yeah.
people.
Or you have like a prop master, somebody's dedicated profession
That you
to
were
making sure
paying
that stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, because I would have been right there with you, because whenever I was like still starting out, I wanted to be like, the team player. I didn't want to cause a problem, this, that, or the other. But over the last like few years, I guess I've just gotten to this point to where I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna like if I'm not comfortable with it, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Like I got an audition like a year ago or so where I was supposed to be playing this guy who was a sexual assaulter. And I read this and I was like, you know what, if it's a role that brings the right kind of light to this horrible situation
Issue, yeah.
I will absolutely do it, because I want to have a part in making sure that people know about this, and it's a good thing to like show the horror of what it is, I think. But I read the script and it was terrible.
Oh no.
Like I understood
That's
what the person was
horrible.
going for, like because they were trying to show it, because it was supposed to be like this situation happened from his perspective and from her perspective.
Oh.
But I was just like, okay, no.
Yeah.
And like whenever I was still like 19 or 20, I would have been like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it, what could go wrong?
Right.
But this time I was just like, no, I'm absolutely not doing this. And then I stepped back, I was like, oh, I must be growing up.
Isn't that nice?
Great.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
I wish
I just said no.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
I wish that this was something that like, there's no one path to becoming like a professional artist, whatever your discipline is. And I always just wish that there was more focus on, self-respect and boundaries, as opposed to like the bending over backwards, like hustle culture, whatever it takes to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's true.
Hustle culture. That's a great term.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Where it's like, no, you should still like operate at like on that like human professional level, regardless of what your field is. And I wish that there was just more protection in that. And there,
I'm sure there is in some areas, and there is in a lot of not areas.
It's such a mixed bag too, because everyone is coming from such disparate places too.
Right.
So you never know what people's experiences are. So that's hard.
It is really refreshing to work with like a professional setting though, where the people are actually nice. Like VH1, when I worked with VH1, they were trash. TLC was fucking classy as shit and treated us amazing. So it's like, I mean, these are both major they were both major networks. I don't know how it is now, but like you can get such different responses to professional levels. Like it's kind of shitty.
There isn't an industry standard at all.
Right.
And so you never know what you're going into. It's like, hope it's good.
Yeah. Hope I don't have to sue you later. Thanks. Bye.
Everyone read your contracts.
Yeah.
Please. And have contracts.
Have a contract, yeah.
Demand a contract, yeah. Crazy.
Well, and Nicole, that kind of goes back to you when you're talking about working on that student film, that even if it's that level, they can still have a professional mindset about how they go about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then you can have another one on the same level, like the one you worked on. It's like, oh, I'm just going to bring my actual gun to use on the set.
Just so I can show it off.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Too.
Yeah, because he brought it. And he was like, I got this one. I got my gun. I got it.
Guys, check this out. Dud.
Okay.
It's like, good for you. You made a purchase.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, you really got life figured out.
Everyone feel weird.
Yeah. Well, made me feel weird, that's for sure.
Learning experiences.
Where's the reading rainbow thing, Mark? Come on.
It's right there.
What are you doing?
I have limited resources.
Graphics.
It's in a book.
We'll break out in harmony for you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't feel like it.
No.
See? Boundaries.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep. Just say it like it is. People can respect that at least. Oh,
Oh man.
Katie, you've been working on some new music.
Yeah. So it's
Speaking of
kind of
music.
crazy. So right when COVID stuff started, I was supposed to be recording a new album. And I had my producer in Nashville who's going to fly over to Seattle to do some recording here. But the studio closed because everything was closing on the West Coast first and kind of like moving over, or like coasts first and then moving inland. And I had all like my musicians ready. Everyone was prepped. Everyone was rehearsed. And we kind of had to make this last minute call of, oh, if we're going to record, I have to fly to Nashville and like play with a lot of people that I've never met or like never rehearsed with before. And so scramble to me charting and writing and arranging like a million things for everything, and then flying to Nashville and staying in like an Airstream behind the studio for like a couple weeks, 2 weeks or so.
Wow.
And you know, everything's closed in Nashville too, duh. But it was in a way because of like that frantic energy behind it. I think it's like some of the best shit I've ever recorded, you know, just because there was just so much like need to find like focus in something. I think in the early days of pandemic stuff that, and you know, searching for ways to like do good and searching for ways to be involved and like help your community and stuff, that I think all of that kind of translated and percolated into some cool stuff that I don't think we would have gotten otherwise. So yeah, I had a single come out late last year in November, and then I have a single coming out February 3rd, and then an album coming out in March, which there's this thing where like if we go into like the business side of recording and stuff, where it's not technically like a strategic time to be releasing things and all that stuff. But I've always just been entirely like indie and self-run and self-published. So I just feel like it's right. And I want to just keep making stuff and creating stuff. And I feel like I can't move on to like the next thing until this thing is like done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I do have some new music coming out. It's fun, it's different. It is I write about a lot of like really weird stuff and like kind of hard issues. Like I write about like intergenerational trauma. I write about like I'm really obsessed with like the passage of time and how different things experience time, like humans compared to like mountains, for example, or like that kind of thing. A lot of cello, a lot of voice, a lot of good stuff. And yeah, I'm ready for it to be out there because I feel like I've been sitting on these songs for like 2 years.
Wow. That's amazing. And so it was all new musicians?
Yeah. And so what it was is I would FaceTime people in Nashville that my producer and some friends knew. And we would just go through it. Like
That's crazy.
There was like 3 days of me. This is all I was doing, like morning and night. Just like arranging stuff for like a brass section, arranging stuff for you know, the guy coming in with the Moog and like trying to figure that stuff out. But it turned out great. And I think it's that thing where you're used to working with the same people sometimes that I think you can get into some habits in the way you approach music and in the way you approach certain things that once you're forced to like work with new people, it opens up a lot of doors. And it was just ended up being a really positive experience.
That's awesome.
That's great.
So I'm going to follow you.
Oh, yeah. Everyone, let's follow each other.
Follow each other.
I'll find you.
That's what we do.
What's your
I think I'm
preferred? Okay, I'm going to find you on everything. No, I'm just-
I think I'm like the only Katie Cuffle like in existence. So yeah,
okay.
I lucked out on that last name, dude.
That's amazing because it sounds good too.
Me, I'm Katie Cuffle. Yeah, if you look up Cuffle, I think it's like my mom and me.
Nice.
Debbie.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it's like some like Polish and like when Prussia was a thing, Prussian Germanic name. I don't know. I think it got like bastardized whenever we emigrated, and they're like close enough on the forums or whatever. But
yeah, that's happened to a lot of names, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I took the distant DNA test, and I'm a Viking.
Dude,
I see that.
fucking rad.
That's why I got my braids in now. I'm a Danish Viking.
Ugh.
Yeah. That's a fun one. I think that we all probably come from. Well, I'm also not like Roman. So I've been curious as to who's Roman, because like I'm Visigoth and Viking, and I'm like anti-establishment Northern European.
Fuck the
So
system,
who's the
man.
Roman? Yeah. So who's Roman that's around us? Like got some deep roots in that, you know?
Where are you at?
Where you Romans at? I'm gonna fight you to the death, Romans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun one.
Got all
I'm
you.
trying to find you guys.
I was already.
I've had
following-
Mark for a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was already following all of you.
I know. Second, let me just real quick do the talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, that's the thing that I saw the memes starting to like pile up, and I was like, "Oh man, no, I gotta stay focused here."
Oh, I'm on my dog's Instagram. Hold up.
We'll follow the doggy.
What kind of dog do you have?
So he's actually just like my current dog, Charge. So when I am not doing music stuff, I think I mentioned this when we were kind of chatting before, is I help train service dogs. And so I work for this nonprofit called Atlas. Because service dogs out of pocket are like 30, 40 grand. And it's usually not covered by insurance. So it's really hard to get one unless you are like a rich person. And so what we do is we help train dogs for the first 2 years of their life while you technically already own the dog. So we work with like reputable breeders. We work with breeds that we know like respond well to whatever particular need you're needing to fill, whether it's like seeing eye dog or like a brace and mobility support dog or something. So currently I am working with a dog named Tupper, like Tupperware. He is 165-pound Newfoundland.
Oh man,
He has like 30 pounds. He's huge.
Wow.
And he is the sweetest boy. And he's going to be a brace and mobility support dog for this woman that has multiple sclerosis, and which is, a disease that, continues to deteriorate the body as time goes on. So you need a dog that can like take full body weight. You need a dog that can like has the personable quality to like just blend in and love people and just be able to be around you and not needing to like be constantly exercised in order to focus. So he's doing good. He's a good boy. He's on his way. And you can follow
dog
him.
That you can ride into battle too.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's so big.
So this is one thing though. It's like there's a lot of kiddos in my neighborhood, and like some of them that are like 4 will just like drape over him, and like Newfoundlands. I don't know if you know this. They're what the Coast Guard use. For deep sea rescue. They like jump out of helicopters and shit.
Wow.
Like they're badass dogs, and they I think are one of the strongest dog breeds currently. So like they can like pull wagons and shit. It's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, they're awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's actually not here. He's spending the weekend to bond with his will-be owner. But I have him Monday through Fridays, and then he spends the time so he can still bond with his other people.
That's insane. What a crazy.
It's great.
That's such a neat like thing to do, though. What an important thing to do.
Yeah, I got into it because I was actually looking for a service dog for myself. I have a fainting disorder, so I pass out a lot due to a spinal deformity. And I was looking for something just in case. And I found this, this great nonprofit, and then got really into it. And it's just been a part of my life kind of like secretly for the last couple of years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome. Dude,
That's
dogs
great.
are amazing. I love dogs.
Yeah,
And I will say having a dog in COVID is life-changing.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you like go outside and people like want to talk to you because of your dog, and like it's so much better than just like, oh.
Did you get a dog? Do you have a dog, your own dog, or are you just coaching?
No, I don't currently have my own dog, just because, well, a couple of reasons. One is it is a hard thing to train for. So we're having to take like a narcolepsy-esque approach, because the thing is, most dogs, they train for like detecting scents. So usually with like narcolepsy, like a hormone is released that they can be then trained to scent. Whereas because mine is a physical deformity that happened, that basically I have like this little nubbin that like kind of twinges my vagal nerve, which is the thing that causes the fainting response in people. There isn't any scent trigger. So it's really hard for dogs to be able to like respond or warn. So all of my stuff would be after the fact. So usually the best thing is like we have like, in a weird way, like kind of child-proofed my house and like all this stuff. But it's, you find workarounds, and it's definitely a part of my life that has I've gotten a lot of knowledge through working with dogs and like insight, and like I just love them. They're so cool.
That's incredible. That's so
and it's
crazy.
just crazy. They know stuff. They're so smart.
The scent
figure
hormone?
it out.
That's
well, like they
insane.
can smell cancer. They can smell like when people are about to have seizures. Like they
That's
just are so
weird.
in tuned. And but if you think about it, it's like millions of years of coevolution.
Right.
Like, of course they can do this stuff. Like, oh yeah, we have like made them in tune with us to that extent. So it's so cool. Dogs are awesome.
Cool. Yeah, dogs are neat.
Well, we talked about Carl and Katie's dog situation. Nicole, how's Spanky doing?
Spanky's okay.
Tell me about Spanky right now.
Not a dog.
That's fine.
I'm
like
allergic.
animals.
I'm allergic to the fluffy things. So,
Mhm.
so I have a parrot.
Perfect.
I grew up with cockatiels.
Oh, well, cockatiels are, mine's only a little bit bigger than a cockatiel. So.
What do you have?
I have a sun conure. I'm trying to find a picture of him. What was a picture of him on me from this morning? I don't know if I want to share that. I'm not going to share that.
Boundaries. That's our new hashtag for this
boundaries.
Hashtag boundaries.
No, you can't have that one. Oh, that's him humping my sweater.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey, buddy.
I love him.
Yeah.
How old is he? Because he's long.
He's about 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They live to about 35. Well,
it's like a life partner, basically, when you have a parrot of some sort. They live forever.
Yeah, especially the big ones. The big ones can live up to like 70 years old, which is nuts.
Yeah, like macaws and cockatoos and stuff.
Yeah.
So what made you go down the parrot route? Did you have birds before?
I had cockatiels too when I was growing up.
Oh, it's like the gateway bird. Like I think they're at every Petco.
I know. You're just like, I'll take it. Why not?
Sure.
Name them TV.
They got these like cute little red cheeks and
they're stupid as shit.
They're so dumb.
So dumb.
Like, I know that they have eyes on, like, the sides of their heads, but, like, if they didn't, they would be wall-eyed. Like,
yeah. They're pretty bad. Spanky's actually sort of smart. Like, he's not cockatiel level. He's more of a parrot level, so he can he talks a little bit. He's not very good at it. He really tries. He wants to be a human. He really is, like, always wants to be on us and, like, around us, and he looks at everything you're doing, looks at you.
Yeah, he's like observing.
Yeah. And then, so then as you saw, gets a little excited, sometimes, but he's a little lover bird. Just wants to be a part of things. That's all. It's a good bird.
Him. Oh, he is a good bird.
Good bird. Not like those stupid cockatiels.
No, you're so much smarter.
He's so special. I wish I could have a dog, though. I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome, and like there are like hypoallergenic dogs. I do think that like here I'm hot takes dog corner. I do think that like the doodle fad is ruining a lot of dogs. Poodles are not always that great to breed with other dogs in terms of like temperament and stuff. They're super smart. They're not always very personable dogs. It depends, but like it's just it's also like I think 1 out of every 10 breeds actually gets the poodle hypoallergenic quality. Like it's like a recessive gene. So hot takes, you know. If you have a doodle, not necessarily hypoallergenic.
Right. And I've had that experience, and that's like dogs that are supposed to be. I mean, they still make me itchy. You know?
Yeah.
So
it's rough, dude.
Yeah, kind of sucks.
Unintended.
Yeah.
I still want to see a Russian bear dog in real life.
Are those?
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Huge ones, and I just need to. I don't know if I want to own one because I want to continue living, but like.
Here's the thing, though, is like
see it.
Those, and also like, you know, like Black Russian Terriers are also like a very large working kind of breed. They like people. Like the bigger the dog, it's usually like the sweeter it is. And I will say bigger dogs are also better for smaller spaces than small dogs all the time because they don't actually move around a lot. They're like having another piece of furniture. Like they're not like running around. I'm serious. It's like a lot of
I completely agree with
like
you
having
because
a little bearskin rug, just
like
chilling.
For the longest time, because whenever we were all like, you know, constantly working and like I would be at work all day and I would come home and I would see my dog and she was so happy to see me. I'm like, oh my God, you were probably miserable here and everything. But then this whole stuff happened. I was like, oh, you're just sleeping.
Oh, I see what you do every day.
Yeah, this is what you look out the window.
Sleep 15 to 18 hours a day if they
your allotted schedule after a walk is like, okay, I got 2 hours of looking out the window, and I've got another 3 hours of sleep in the backyard, another hour just looking at the fence, and it's just like until we go for our next walk.
Luna.
Yeah.
Oh.
How old is Luna?
Oh man, she's 5 now, I think. Give or take. Yeah, I think she's 5. Nice. I'm pretty sure she is.
Aww.
I'm gonna have to confirm that, but yeah, she's 5, but she still acts like she's 1. Yeah,
that's the husky.
Yeah, that's definitely
part of her.
Like we were just having some food earlier, and she had her face, you know, looking up, acting like she was starving to death. Just all that same stuff that she's had ever since we got her when she was 1 year old.
A little beggar.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like we shouldn't have given her food in the first place. Like we should have just given her dog food and that's it. But she tasted the amazing things in life.
Can't go back. Can't go back. No.
I'm gonna find a photo of Tupper.
Oh, Tupper.
Just one that like accurately depicts size it can be hard. So talk amongst yourselves and I will return.
Yeah, something with a
you know, there was something. It kind of got sidetracked because of like the extra spike in the COVID stuff, and I just didn't feel comfortable asking everybody to do it. But I wrote a short script that I wanted to shoot with Steve and Gordon and Tosh in it, and I was going to be producing it with Sasha, and it's this. I mean, we're still going to do it eventually, but it's just whenever the numbers get to 1 in 3 positive cases, I'm just like, you know, I'm not. We're not about that. but it's actually a short film of a feature film that I've written that I actually want to take back home to Texas to shoot it there. And me and Sasha are going to be producing it, and there's still so many things that need to be figured out and hashed out. And as far as I know, I'm thinking that we might have another virtual tour coming up. I don't know for sure yet. I hope
That would
so.
be awesome.
Yeah, because we know how to do it now, which is great.
Yeah.
And if we could, that'd be awesome. But I do know that there's definitely some stuff coming out soon, because we shot a music video late last year with this big rain machine and everything, and it was really, really great. We almost killed everybody, actually.
Oh no. Wait, are you talking about the rain one?
Yeah,
I saw pictures of that. That's so cool.
It looks
So you
so
killed
cool.
it. You almost killed everyone?
No, I think we almost killed only Gordon, actually.
Oh,
That's okay. Just kidding.
Because one thing that we were also used to wearing masks and everything, that we were shooting all of our music video with masks on. And we put everybody with a cloth mask over their nose and mouth underneath a giant rain machine, and didn't realize that we were accidentally waterboarding everybody. So everybody's like gasping for breath, and we haven't gotten the take yet, and we're just like, we gotta do it again. It was kind of out of focus and everything. So eventually, like, we had to end up going back and doing a reshoot because we didn't get the shots we needed. And the Alice team, as brilliant as they are, they made like these little cages that they put over their nose and mouth to put the mask over that. And
that's so smart.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something I didn't even think of, and I feel so bad because I'm like, oh god, I should have thought of that. Damn it.
Wow.
And it was this great music video, and Sasha is in the middle of editing it together right now, thankfully, because she is just a mastermind. I don't know if y'all saw the Part of Me music video that she edited together, and oh my god, her cutting of it together is just brilliant. I still can't get over it.
Editing is so hard. I feel like
I hate it so much.
How hard it is. Like,
oh god,
just getting those beats to feel natural and like moving through time. Sorry, that's
like
impressive to me.
I'm having to edit like little things right now, and there's another thing that I shot with like another team that I did, and that I did a project with, and I'm editing that together. I'm just like, God, I'm not into this. Like, I'm doing it, and I know exactly what I want. I know I'm going to be able to get it done, but I just can't. There are some people that are passionate about it, and I tip my cap to all of them, because it's just such a difficult job to do. And editing is just not in my wheelhouse, and never will be. But Sasha is in the middle of editing that together, and I'm sure that we'll have some more stuff coming up soon.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I just love that people are just making stuff. I'm just.
As far as anything specifically, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But this team is just so energetic that it's so sorry. I'm just like, there's so many thoughts in here, and I don't know how to articulate them all at the same time. Whenever this whole thing first happened, like, I knew that they were going to be going on tour. I knew that at some point I was going to go with them to shoot kind of a tour music video, but then everything came crashing down, and I thought that was it. I thought that, okay, we're just going to retreat. We're going to try again when this is all done. But they were just like, fuck no, we're going to keep on going. And they ended up like coming up with like the live stream. Like, and they told me about it, and I'm just like, oh, that's a great idea. That's actually something we could do. And we ended up, as a lot of people have seen, we ended up making all of Steve's living room. We put black curtains on the walls and made a light show and made a live concert, but virtually. And it is just insane how fast and how accurately they pivoted to fit with the times. And
it is amazing. Like,
and I was just along for I was just like, okay, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? because I'm here. I'm here for whatever you need. And whenever we started doing all that, then we're like, okay, yeah, we can keep on shooting music videos because we can do it safe, like COVID safe. And we ended up shooting, I think, like 3 or 4 videos during this time. And the only one that hasn't been released is the rain shoot one. And that one should be coming up sometime this year.
I cannot wait. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I know what I shot, and I'm just so like, oh man, it's going to translate. I know it's going to translate. It has to, because we spent a lot of time.
That visual that you described is so cool. Like, it's going to look dope. Like,
yeah,
and it was really great because we just splurged the money and we rented this new lens and this lighting kit to where we had all of the rain completely backlit and another one shooting across. And we shot it at this high frame rate, so everything looks like it's coming down really slow and smooth. And it just through the lens and the frame, it looked amazing. And I cannot wait to see what Sasha is cutting together right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. If you don't mind me asking, what camera did you use?
We used a I need to learn how to speak. Sony A7 III. No, it was Sony A. Yeah, it was a Sony A7 III, not the A7S. It was a Sony A7 III with a Sigma 50 to 100 millimeter lens.
The Sigma shit is like. Mwah.
Yeah, the Sigma looked really good. It looked really, because that f-stop is so low that everything that's in focus is so crystal clear, and everything that's out of focus is just blurry. And it looks so good.
The dynamic range on that thing is like, it just makes it so tasty. Like,
yeah, we switched between the Sigma cinema lens and the Sony 35 millimeter prime lens, and just between the two things that we got, because like I said,
was it a single camera? Or did you have multiple? Okay.
No, it was one camera. Yeah, it was just I was just running around with the camera on a gimbal the whole time.
Oh, cool.
Usually what we do. Like there was a music video we shot a few years ago where we went out to the desert, the El Mirage lake bed, which is just this really vast flat ground land, and we shot a dance video with just a little handheld gimbal and an iPhone, and it came together. It ended up looking really good because it got all the information of the sky being blue and the ground being completely beige and brown. Everything was like crystal clear and it was so smooth. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing what we can do with just a phone now, for crying out loud.
Yeah, well, this is something that I love to this is one of my brain thoughts often is as opposed to other thoughts. Is like, I'm someone that thinks like creativity thrives when you have fewer options, when you have these things to work with. And it's like, because you're so limited, your brain is like, okay, what are the ways that I can make this work? What are the ways that using these simple tools that we can translate this thing into like something dynamic and captivating and gets our point across like that. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I figured out lighting tricks. Like, exactly.
Dude, lighting is so podunk. I don't think people realize it. How just like shim lighting can be.
It is infuriating when lighting doesn't work, but it's so satisfying.
Like, I got like a shower curtain that's like kind of opaque here to diffuse some stuff. I got like some apple crates here.
Oh man. No, and I still remember like the first time that I had to sit like in the middle of shooting, I had to sit down and think about how to make it not look like shit. Was the Land of Confusion music video that we did for the 13th hour. And there was this one day where we were shooting these two people in their apartments. And I just had one light set up because I was still very novice at this time. And I looked at it and I was like, God, this looks like just a garbage student film right now. I cannot stand it. I could not figure out how to make it look good. But luckily, I asked the actor who was in frame to just turn the lamp on that was behind him. And he automatically had this backlight. And I was like, oh, backlighting. That's a thing. That's a term I've heard before. Okay. And then I looked through the camera and I saw there was like this glowing halo around him while he was having this discovery to find his job and stuff, I'm like, oh fuck, this works.
Wow.
Okay. This is amazing. So I had like
thematically and visually, like all of
so
it is like light.
I had the soft key light on him coming this way, and then this backlight from him back here, and it was just 2 lights, and I was like, oh, so all right, cool, lesson learned. And I've used that to this day, like backlight, and I know there are so many actual cinematographers out there that would be like, yeah, backlighting is like, fundamental and stuff. It's like, but in that moment, I just figured it out on.
Yeah, it's that learning by doing and experimenting,
Yeah.
and like that's also a valid way to figure stuff out.
And I'm so glad it did, because I hated the way it looked before. I was just like, oh man, they're gonna get rid of me so quick when they look at this. Yeah, the light went on.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh man!
Real quick, I will show you guys Tupper. I did find a good photo.
Oh, Tupper. Oh,
that is a big guy.
My big boy.
He is a big boy. He's hairier than
Look at that mouth. Oh my goodness.
He's shaggy.
He's
a big boy.
He's got a lot of saliva too coming out of his mouth.
Oh,
dude, he's so gross. You just lean in. I don't wear nice clothes anymore. It's just like various like fleece outerwear.
So I gotta go and take care of something real quick.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, no
Be right
worries.
back.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Oh, thank God, he's gone.
girl party with Mark.
Mark, are you ready?
oh no.
Welcome.
Am I on deck now?
Everything is going. So, Mark, tell me everything going on in your life.
Thank you, Captain Blackwood. Oh God, somebody help me.
That's too funny.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to ask Carl if he did he just learn everything then by doing, or did he actually go to any kind of film school stuff? Because he's got I had for Katie and Nicole and everybody out there, I had no idea like all the extensive artistic background I had an inkling of what he did, but I never actually heard him talk about from acting to music to filming to like just tons of stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, he seems like he has just said like yes and figured it out. Like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is amazing. Like that kind of fortitude and that ability to just like learn on the job and figure it out. Like I think that is such a valuable and amazing trait for someone to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No one tell him I said that. He's gone now. So
yeah, he'll catch it on the playback.
know.
Yeah, it is true. You got to have that attitude if you're gonna get anywhere.
Yeah, well,
Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know how many guests I've talked to where they said, just try something. Just try it. And if you fail, you fail. But at least try something and fail in interesting ways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do feel like artists in general, we get good at failing pretty fast. And I'm serious, like once you get over that like hump, it's huge and it just changes everything for you, and it doesn't become an obstacle anymore. It just becomes like a reality that this will happen sometimes, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to keep doing this other stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And like one thing that I always say is that for creative people especially is that we have the unique situation where our taste level, like one of the reasons we are our biggest critics is our taste level is forever going to outpace our skill level, because we are constantly imbibing art and listening to music and comparing ourselves and learning. But our taste level is listening to things that are way better than we are at our current level. So you can never, ever reach that, because while you are continually getting better, you're also continually listening to better and better stuff, or being exposed to more and more information.
Yeah, as you grow too, and you're involved with more people at different higher levels, and then you're like the little one, and then you get up to be the big one, and then you're the little one again.
Yeah, it is just, I think that's one of the reasons that, artists especially are so hard on themselves, is because we know forever, even if we are better than we were a year ago, we know like, it could be so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's that personality trait of striving, because a creative person is always, I feel like, is always looking and always assessing, and that's just part of our nature to be doing that. So it does create that kind of like, well, when I assess myself, I have that comparison, which is not always great.
Was there ever a point where you guys, like, this is always a hard question, but where the doubt set in and you guys considered not pursuing these creative fields?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like this morning?
Yeah.
Forever?
Yeah, I was gonna say more than once.
I can't.
What is that like for you guys?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. When was it? It was 2012. And I had been out here for a few years. I had just graduated from theater school. And this moment was horrible because the lease on the apartment that I was in had expired. And I didn't have enough money to re-up the lease. So this was the moment where I had to start living in my car at the time. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to get through this. This is just going to be like a 2-week thing max. And it ended up being 15 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I still remember the year mark, the 12-month mark that this happened. It was February 2012 to February 2013. And I was sitting there, and it was just like everything kind of happened all together, where one of my very, very good friends, John from Texas, hit me up saying he just got this amazing job as an electrician. And if I ever needed if I never needed a job, then I had one waiting for me back in Texas. And I was laying in the backseat of my car reading this. And I was like, this is it. Like, this is like it felt very much like a crossroads at that moment.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I had nothing. I was laying back there. Like, all of my stuff was at a storage unit and everything. And that was technically my rent, my $99 a month at that time. And I was just like, I guess I'll just stick it out for a little while and see where this goes. But in that moment, I was legitimately, that was the closest I think I ever came to just throwing in the towel, saying I had a good run and going home. But but now here I am talking to all you awesome people.
Look at you.
Which I am so happy to be doing.
Yeah. You toughed through it.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to for art.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, there were a lot of like people that I was talking to at the time. They were saying like, yeah, that's a part of it. Like, and luckily I had some really good people like all the Alice people being very, very encouraging to like stick it out. And if I ever needed anything, to let them know. And they were very supportive. And it was a tough time, but luckily we got through it. And in my own mind, I think we've made it.
Yeah.
Because we're here. We're supported. We get to sit here and talk to awesome people on the internet, and then after this get to go and like play some music or write a script or something like that. It's just like, like who could
it's like, if you think
who could
about
offer
like
anything
happiness
better?
metrics, you know, it's just like at the end of the day, like, I do have a roof over my head, I have great relationships, and I'm able to do like creative, impactful work and continually learn and grow from other cool creative people. So it's like, what else? Like, there's I think a lot of people end up searching for most of their lives if they have taken, maybe a less satisfactory path to like find those satisfactions in their own life. So in a lot of ways, I think, I'm super blessed to be able to do this stuff every day.
Oh God. Yeah.
Like, it is like really amazing. Like, we have amazing lives, even though, shit is hard, especially right now. But again, it's like, I wouldn't trade the hardship currently. Who knows in like 5, 10, 15 years what future Katie will say. But right now in 2021, Katie's saying, wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah. I opened up when I lived in LA. I was my only rule to myself was I was not going to compromise on being a performer or artist as my profession. So that did mean being on food stamps, and that meant, you know, living in a garage, and that meant having 5 jobs, all performing and all doing music and art, until, you know, I kept taking auditions and trying to find something that was going to offer a more, you know, stable in that career field, which ended up me joining the military, which is super weird. But yeah, I was, I don't think, you know, I can't say we've all pushed, not everyone is able to push through that into the life that they want. There's some pretty rough times.
And it's so funny. Like, I always, this is one of those like parental kernels of wisdom, is like, yeah, a lot of it is luck, but you got to be ready for when luck happens.
Oh yeah, it's when opportunity and preparation meet. And I didn't want to bother myself with other types of jobs. I think the longest, I call them a muggle job. the longest muggle job I ever had was a year, which was really good because I usually just left. I would just not show up to those jobs. After a couple of months, I just wouldn't show up.
Well, it wasn't your career. You had jobs, you had your career, you know?
Exactly. But yeah, I was a driving instructor was my longest muggle job.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
In LA.
Specifically
too.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Malibu Canyon with kids.
Can I just get some bullet point highlight or low light moments, impactful moments of that job? I think that is so fascinating.
Well, one time I watched a squirrel die with a new student I picked up, and he was very unfazed by it, and I was horrified. We hadn't even started driving, and I was in the passenger seat, and I was like, no. And we're watching this squirrel like to attack as it got hit, and I was like, no, don't drive. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, and afterward I was like, are you okay?
Dude, what sociopath were you next to? I don't know.
This kid
Did he hit it?
And he has a license now.
I think I don't even remember the car. We had just started to drive, and someone had hit the squirrel. So it was like a bunch of stuff, and we just watched the squirrel die, and he was like very psychopathic for sure. Because that was very traumatizing to me.
I mean,
you just killed an animal.
Yeah.
Is there points like deductible for death? Like, is that something
my insurance trauma? Animal roadkill.
Nail this parallel park, but
no respect for animals.
Still get a license.
Yeah, terrible American.
Oh,
kids.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but also wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be driving. They'd take them to take their test, and it's pretty.
You got your little special break.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever have to use it?
Oh yeah. I can still. I'm like getting like trauma reflexes right now because like. The constant stress on your body from like, oh shit.
What part of LA were you guys driving in? Because I'm also just thinking LA traffic too.
The Valley.
Okay.
The Valley. So I never went into actual downtown LA, but the Valley's pretty bad. And like, so the level 4 was Malibu Canyon. So that was like, oh shit. But by that point, they were usually okay. So like going up the windy roads, at that point they were, and sometimes I was just like, go slow. I don't care. Just go slow. Don't even go the speed limit.
There's no one behind us. No one.
All we have to do is get over it. I'll drive back. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'd love to do a roundabout of people's weirdest jobs that they've had. Is that yours? If there's a weirder job, please
That's a weirder
let us
job.
know.
I did kids' parties forever as characters and singing telegrams. I was at Dr. Phil's house as a pig.
I I feel like that's such a moment of like, this is my life.
Oh, it was great. Honestly, those are the jobs I missed. That is amazing. All you gotta do is like.
No, legit, I did that same job, not as a pig, but like I worked for this amazing company called Action Events for like 3 years.
Oh god.
And my main character was either Darth Vader or Kylo Ren.
Nice.
And it was great because like we were also like stunt performers and everything, so we would do like lightsaber battles and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh my god, there were sometimes it was just strange.
Yeah, I've been in every type of household in LA as every type of character. I mean, you don't realize how segregated LA is until you are welcomed into all of these different cultures. And it's just, I mean, I have been kicked by children. I have been I have terrified children.
Okay, children are mean.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. They can like cut into your soul. Like,
oh yeah,
with no problem.
They see through you.
Yeah, there was one party I did where I was supposed to be doing a solo Vader gig, and I thought there were going to be kids there. There were not. It was only adults, and it was 30 minutes. And I walk in, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Darth Vader. He's here and everything." Oh god. And
like what?
And I was just like, I don't know what to fucking do right now.
Dude, I feel like my first thought would be like, did I just get catfished somewhere? Like,
no,
oh my god,
legit. I was just like, I mean, luckily, like after I like settled into it, everybody that was everybody was an adult, so they were drinking, so they were very much about like getting the selfies and asking the stupid questions and stuff. But that first 10 minutes, I swear, dragged on for at least an hour.
Ooh.
Because
I will say though that I would pay like $20 for a photo of Darth Vader just doing shots at a party. So at like an adult person's party.
That's amazing.
Oh,
I did a singing telegram once for I got hired for some girl or something. It was on Valentine's Day, and I'm a heart singing heart. And oh no, I think I might have. It doesn't really matter what I was. I also did gorilla in a tutu for those, but I think I might have been singing heart for this one. Anyways, I go up to her door and I start singing, and this telegram's from someone in New York. So I'm doing the little like celebration time and like whatever love song he picked. And then this guy comes along right behind and goes like, puts his arm around her. And I'm like, and this is from so-and-so in New York. Okay, bye. And I was like, oh my God, this chick was like, just like, you can't do this now.
Oh.
I was like, okay, bye. Have
you
fun.
do meet the most insane people. Like, I think the most uncomfortable moments. This is like my second glass, so I'm okay with sharing this now.
Yes.
There was this one party I was at, and I was Darth Vader, and we had somebody playing Luke and a stormtrooper, and the party went great. It was an hour long, and right at the end, we always do like we sing Happy Birthday to the kid, and we'll take pictures with everybody. And usually, a lot of the parents always want to get their pictures too because they're Star Wars fans as well. And this one woman comes and stands next to me, and I'm standing. Thank God I had a giant mask on. Because she reaches around and just right on my butt, and I'm just like I was I went completely up. I'm like, whoa,
dude,
okay, and it's just like, oh God, and like I walked away and everything, and everybody was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "I will tell you in a minute. I'm going to the car right now." And afterwards, I told them,
and they reflect.
And I just need to, it's just like, I think I need a minute. I think,
yeah.
I don't know if that happened or not, and I was just like, I was so like, it was so crazy because like that, like she had all the confidence in the world that's what happened, and I was like, all right, cool, good for you, awesome.
Wow, that's so weird. I never had that happen, and I was princesses at houses and whatnot, and I mean, I'm very surprised I didn't. I did this when I was really young too. When I was 16, I did have a father come out and try to get my phone number though. But
oh god, yeah.
I was like Cinderella at his fucking kid's party.
Dude.
Like, gross.
Yeah, anytime we had somebody playing like Leia or Rey, that was kind of like the side job of whoever like the stormtrooper
is
or
with
the stick
them.
was.
Yeah,
it's just like, with them. If somebody's trying to get their numbers, and it's like, okay, let's go back to the starship. You know, we gotta get out of here.
I mean, you were assaulted, so
yeah. But no, I was. But I mean, we each got tipped $50 at the end, so I guess
gotta hoe yourself out a little bit.
Every once in a while, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know,
that's like copy.
But yeah,
the tips were great. The tips in that job are really great. Yeah. People give you lots of money.
If they did.
If they did. Or nothing.
There was one time, I always got a little upset whenever I got tipped with food. But there was one time, it was like my third gig of the day. And it was late. And it was this big, I think it was like quinceañera. And at the end of it,
so great.
Oh god, it was so good.
I love those parties.
I had a giant plate of just tacos and a burrito, and it was all from scratch. And
it's like the real good shit.
It's so good. And I just took the Darth Vader mask off. I was still in like full Vader garb with my lightsaber still on and like the buttons still lighting up and stuff. And I was just shoveling this food into my face.
That's amazing.
Still one of the greatest days of my life.
Yeah, see, I love that job. Mm-hmm. It was the best job. I mean, not really.
You're never bored. You are never bored. Like,
no.
On your
walking into someone's house in a freaking costume like that. It's the best.
Scaring children sometimes, yeah.
What's gonna happen?
How many kids did you guys make cry?
Oh god.
Oh god.
So many.
Let me count the ways.
It was always the rich white kids that were afraid.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
That is so true.
It was always the rich white kids. They were like petrified. Like the Mexican kids fucking love it, you know, and they're like your buddy. And then like with the rich white kids were like,
oh, no, there was like as Darth Vader, I made a few kids cry, but I always expected it from doing Kylo Ren. Like almost always, because he's got like the big hood on and everything. And there were a few times where we had to like take the kid outside and like I had to take my mask off and like talk to them and everything and like calm them down, like do some stupid jokes with them to make them laugh a little bit. And then we went back in. It was fine. Yeah. But there was sometimes where the kid was just uncontrollable. They were just like hyperventilating, like, oh god. And then the parents were like, you asked for this. This is what you wanted. And we just had to keep on going.
I didn't know what it meant.
Like, do we need to leave right now? And they're like, no, you stay. And the kid's still freaking out.
They would always tell you to
you stay right there. It's like, this is the definition of a rock in a hard place right now. I don't know what to do.
Sometimes you just kind of sit on a chair and like, pull out your face paints and just wait.
Yep.
Wait for your time to be out. Like, okay, it's been an hour.
Oh god. Cool. Yeah, sometimes those minutes just just tick by one at a time. Exactly.
Oh man. So such touching stories too, though. Like the just like the really poor areas, like they spend every last dollar on these parties for their kids, and you could tell it was like everything to them. Like it was like it meant the world that you were there. It meant they had, the families there. Sometimes it wasn't even big. Like sometimes I went a couple times to just one kid, and it was like, kind of awkward, but like, I don't know.
Meaningful still. Like
very
that
meaningful.
was the thing.
Yeah. I had a party like that one time where it was this one kid, he was new to town. And this is his first birthday in this new town and everything, and he didn't have any friends. And it was once again a solo party and everything, so it was just me and him. And
like, what's up, dude? No,
basically, yeah. And I went through like at the very beginning, just to break the ice, we went through like learning how to hold a lightsaber and what it meant and all that stuff. But I thought it was going to be awkward because there was nobody else to interact with. but the parents asked me to present him with his present, and I did. And he opened it up, and it was this giant Nerf gun. And I was like, "Oh, that's a cool gift now, isn't it?" And he's like, "Oh my God, this is the best gift ever. Thank you so much." And I was like, "Oh man, if I had one too, we could have a Nerf battle." And luckily the parents were like, "Well, we have one." And I got this giant Nerf gun also, and we were in this living room just shooting these Nerf darts at each other. And it was
That is so
amazing.
good.
It was so amazing.
So good.
And they were really sweet to like email my boss afterwards and tell him that like, you know, we had a good time and stuff. And oh God.
Yeah.
But Nerf battles, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
break my heart. Oh, that job. I miss that job. Don't miss the driving around though.
I don't miss the amount of sweat that I had to give up.
Dude, I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't mind it too much, though. I didn't like the smell of the shared costume too much, but like more around the mouth was kind of gross. But I didn't mind it kind of was cathartic actually by the end of running around with all the kids and just totally being immersed in whatever party that was.
Yeah, I learned to recognize the smell of Tide.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh, man. No, but it's just doing
aroma.
It's so specific. But yeah, that's why I was so happy to like get like a pirate party during the summertime because I could show my face, I could take my hat off. But whenever it was like mid-July in like Palmdale, California, in the desert,
and you gotta be Elmo.
And one time I had to be SpongeBob.
Ooh, I never did a SpongeBob.
That was terrible. Because I can't do a SpongeBob voice. I can't, but my boss made me do it anyway, and I was just like,
yeah, it's like some weird.
And it sounded like a goat the whole time, and I just didn't know what to do. So luckily, the guy that I was working with was like, "Just don't talk." And I'm like, "Thank God." All right, but oh God, yeah, it had its ups and downs for sure.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Yeah, it's a good job. I played been in so many of those suits. So many. My boss, I don't know if you probably never encountered Randy from Aaron's Happy Kids. Oh, he was insane. Those kids performers are like, have you ever seen Death to Smoochie?
Long time ago.
To watch that movie again after doing this job. It will just like make you'll love it. But yeah, he was insane. He would just like scream at people on the phone, like cuss at them and like hang up on them. And like one time he was yelling at me about like some client that was being horrible and his tooth like flew. I cried. I was like, I had to go pick it up, put it back in his mouth, and he was still pissed. Like that didn't stop him from being like ranting about this. And then he told me about he told me about his like ghost friends and like I really liked him and I wanted to be his friend because he was so fucking crazy. It was like this is great. I love it.
Oh man.
Man. Stories.
Yeah. Musicians, artists, otherwise.
This came in about 20 minutes ago.
Oh no.
Think about those performance gig stories, like those go on for days.
No, it's all good. I just want to make sure I didn't miss this.
Sorry about that.
No, all good.
All right.
This one is like a little bit left field, but I'm like a huge fantasy nerd. And so one of like my biggest drivers was like for like creative work, even if it's not apparent necessarily in my music, but it was always like there kind of spurring me on, has been like fantasy series, video games, and I've been a long time Dungeons and Dragons player. And so all of that stuff has like secretly like always like kind of like bubbled through. And I think if I didn't have that kind of like very imagination, huge world, always kind of like thinking about like stories, etc. in my brain, like I don't think that I would be as creative as I am now and have, you know, the type of career that I have now if I wasn't kind of rooted in that like very, you know, nerdy, lovely background. So that's the otherwise. So of that question. So that's mine. What about you guys?
I love that.
I'm still trying to think of what somebody else go.
Nicole?
Like in person, like people that I met, or
Probably anything, I think, in general that, inspired you.
well, I love Ani DeFranco. It was always like a big influence of mine. I love Maria Callas, she's an opera singer. She was apparently very difficult to work with. I think they call her like, oh gosh, like I don't know what her book is, like Diva Monster or something. But she I don't know. I feel like I relate to Maria Callas, and I don't think she was trying to be horrible. I think she was just an artist. She took.
I always wonder, especially. Sorry.
Continue. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I always wonder, especially with like female artists, and especially when they were coming to like whatever type of acclaim, like how much of that is like ingrained like sexism or whatever it is coming to the front, or like bossiness, or like just I don't know. I always like
wasn't actually that
stories as a grain of salt,
Yeah. Well, what I think Maria Callas did, at least for the art form, was kind of like what Beethoven did for classical music in general. It was like it took it from a more stodgy, I don't want to say stodgy, but more technical based, and she was an artist with the technical. So it was like there's only a few people in every art form that I feel like bridge that gap and kind of open the art form into new territory, and I just think she was one of them. So I like it. I haven't. I meant to. Is it good? I don't know if you've seen it.
I will be right back, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I haven't seen it. So, she said very.
Yeah.
The person that for me that's coming to my mind that I just can't shake is Richard Linklater. Because just from like a filmmaker standpoint, and also like a musician standpoint, because a lot of like all of his films always have such good music in them as well. There's like going back, there's this film called, like one of his earliest films called Slacker, that is just such an insane like format of filmmaking. Because what happened, I don't know if anybody that's watching this has seen it, but if you haven't, what happens is there's this guy who gets into a cab from the airport, and he starts telling the cab driver about his dream that he had. And then after he gets out of the cab, something happens outside of that cab, and then the camera follows this story. And then this story plays out. And then whenever that story's done, something else like interacts, and then it follows this story, and it goes to this guy who like accidentally hit somebody with his car, and what happened after him. And then he gets arrested, and somebody who's walking by at the moment of the arrest, it starts to follow him. And it just keeps going like this. None of these people have anything to do with each other except for the fact that they happen to be in this moment at the same time.
That's
and it's an insane movie. I highly recommend it for anybody. It's still one of my favorite films to this day. What?
Called again?
Slacker.
Slacker. Okay.
Yeah, and he also and Linklater also did the boy. Is it Boyhood? Yeah, Boyhood movie where they shot it over 12 years long, and you see the actors like grow older and older as the movie goes on, and just like because of his just completely out of the box way of filmmaking is just absolutely inspiring to me, to just not like completely go towards what has been done, but what could be done.
That's awesome.
Does it always work? Maybe not, but at the very least they tried. There was another movie a film that he did that I think is classified as a documentary called Waking Life, where they shot everything live, but then he went and painted over the film, and everything is like a moving piece of art.
Right.
And it's all about like what happens in a dream life versus a waking life, and the philosophy behind all of that. And it was my fireplace movie for such a long time. So I think that would probably be my most inspirational person, because he also like writes and shoots all of his own stuff as well.
Wow. Carl, I just wanted to kind of piggyback real quick.
Mhm.
You were talking about, like, as you've been filming the Alice folks and all these other projects. Are you self-taught, or did that come from your schooling?
Oh God. It's it's a little bit of both because I learned acting and everything from the LACC Theater Academy, and then I went to Stella Adler afterwards. And I learned how to work on that side of everything. But as far as filmmaking is concerned, after I was done with my final bit of schooling, I didn't have money to go to school anymore. So me and my friend Daniel, we started just shooting stuff ourselves. And he got stupidly good at cinematography. He's actually the guy that I go to anytime I have a problem with anything. And he's just like, oh yeah, you just do this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, cool. Good that you knew that. That's awesome. But everything else, yeah, it's definitely just learning on the set and learning from what I can read in a book. Because I have a whole shelf of books that I read all the time and I will still refer to as much as I possibly can. And it really is just a lot of trial and more error, I would say.
Okay.
I do feel like sometimes some of these, like, especially like technically involved like skill sets, I do think that it is becoming more and more obsolete to like have a formal education, just because information is just there. You
Mhm.
can learn at any point if you have like the drive, or like you know what you're looking for. Like between like YouTube and like Reddit forums and like actually just doing stuff, like, or yeah, like having like manuals and stuff. It is just, I think you can just do it. You just decide to do it,
Yeah.
and you just hit the books.
No, like anytime I'm trying, if I have an editing problem of any kind, I will either go to YouTube or Sasha. That's it. And usually it's just like, all right, that's how we do it. And then now I know that. And eventually it just becomes experience. And then it's like, oh, cool, we're moving right along here. I didn't need to go to school to learn how to, click that button to do that. Like, it's a lot of self-taught stuff. And once again, trial and a lot of error. Just so much getting it wrong before you figure out how to make it right.
Yeah, so true.
Oh man, that's a good question.
I have mine immediately. I know who this is. She is alive. Do you guys know who Zoe Keating is? So she is an amazing cellist. She's like a looper. She does a lot of stuff for like radio and podcasts and a ton of other stuff for like TED Talks and stuff. She is just an amazingly, how do I put this? She's someone who thinks in a way that is not intuitive to me. And I think that is really valuable and like really interesting, and someone I just want to pick her brain about how she approaches music, how she approaches composition. And also she's someone that has found incredible success being entirely like self-released and like having like aggressive ownership about what she has created. And so, yeah, her name is Zoe Keating. I would say go to YouTube and look up her song called Escape Artist. It is just beautiful looping cello, orchestral, just like rich, amazing stuff. So that's mine.
Amazing. Now, what about it? What about her methodology do you think is unintuitive, at least as far as how you view your own? Is it the technical side of that?
Yeah, I am not someone who, easily I'm a very bare bones person. I am actually not very technically savvy. And it is something that I've had to learn by necessity, but is not something that I am able to immediately look at as like a tool for creating stuff. It always, for me, feels kind of hurdle-y. Right. But the way her brain works is like she's created like looping software and like wow, like all this other stuff. Amazing. And I think it would not to like, I don't know. I really don't know. I just want to chat with her and
figure
just
out
kind of
what that is.
understand like what her approach is and like more out of just like a fascination than necessarily something that I can like use for myself. I just think that it's so interesting that we can approach the same instrument so differently, you know? Like that is so cool to me.
That is so cool. That's really neat.
Katie, has she been here at the Neptune?
Mm-hmm. She's been at the Neptune before a couple of times.
Yeah, I thought the name sounded familiar to me because it came across my purview at some point. I haven't seen her myself, but I am aware who she is. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a badass dude. Like,
That's so cool.
I have nothing but respect for her.
Awesome. Anybody else have somebody that comes to mind that Industrial Girl asked?
I got two people actually. One's alive and one's dead. If that's okay.
No.
Well, okay then.
Nicole?
Moving right along. No, my the one that I would love to just know the story of and just learn a little bit from would be Robert Johnson, because it's just like, how do you only make that small amount of music and stand the test of time? You know, because there's just those few songs. That's all we know about him. We barely have any pictures of him, yet he's still here. He's still like inspiring so many musicians for so long. I would love to just sit down with him and be like, what the fuck happened to you in the desert at the crossroads, technically? Like, what?
Uh-huh.
And
Dude,
so
I think there was some shit there. Like,
that's what I'm saying. And there's a whole documentary on Netflix about him and everything. And it's just like, what did he do? Like, why? I mean, granted, he went away for a lot longer than I thought he did, but he came back and he just recorded these things. That was it. There's supposedly still one missing song that nobody has ever heard before. And it's like, oh, well, there's a lot going on with this guy and he barely did anything. How is that possible? I would love to just know, because it still boggles my mind. And then from somebody who's alive, I would absolutely love to be sitting across the table from Tom Hanks at like any sort of scene. I just want to exchange dialogue with that gentleman at some point in my life. It would be amazing.
he'll write you back one day, I'm sure.
One day, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that's right. I told you about the dream.
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice memory.
No, he like still to this day, even when I was a little kid and I was watching movies like, you know, The Money Pit and Big, I was just like, still just like, I know that this guy is amazing and I love absolutely everything that he's ever done. Even the bad stuff, I'm still like
that D&D movie.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it.
Talk about it. What was
So,
that
yeah,
even called? I forgot what that was even called.
Yeah, that would be my answer.
I'd work with you guys.
She gets the points. She won it.
Let's work together. No, but
If you
really,
ever
I
need some two cellists,
don't. Yeah.
let us know.
Mm-hmm.
I need help figuring out how to video myself better. Like I did a music video with that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I really just need like a camera guy for my next video. Or a girl. Wow. you just dated one.
I just am in a long-term relationship with one, and that has been my in.
Oh my God, that is so smart.
I guess I guess that works because I shot one for my girlfriend a while ago.
Right? Hello.
Yeah.
It's not
She
bad,
knows.
too. That's the thing. Yeah.
She knows.
Like, that was one of the first things that we did where I was like, hey,
Dude,
Like,
long
we got
game.
this. We got this, y'all.
teamwork.
How about Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I've been just kind of enjoying the conversation. No, actually. I have to participate. Let's see. Oh, good grief. I don't have anything as deep as like what Carl was talking about, or actually anybody. I think for me, just because he's always been my number one guitar influence ever, it would be Gary Moore, and I would be definitely. I would be definitely afraid to be anywhere near him in terms of playing a guitar with him, but at the same time, it'd be like it would be my bucket list moment ever to just be around that man if he was still with us today. Everything that I do, songwriting wise, from his blues work to his old '80s hard rock stuff, I mean, it had a huge impact on me. And plus, he was singing at the same time when he was playing the guitar live, and he was a freaking monster live. So I was like, he was like my role model of like, if I ever get to a point of, getting to somewhere with my guitar, I want to be like that guy. So that's someone who's passed. The easy knee-jerk response for me for someone who's alive would be Jeff Bridges, who I met.
Yeah, the dude.
And I think of, obviously, of The Big Lebowski. I think of Starman. I think of just every freaking thing he's been in. And then
Hell or High Water was amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh God, what a great film!
I've watched that several times. I've got it on Blu-ray, and that whole thing of never meet your heroes. It doesn't apply to him because when I met him, he made me a permanent fan because he was so nice, so accommodating. He didn't talk down to you.
Wow.
And I can't see enough.
Just like a person.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a little bit of a mix of the dude and like Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's how he was in person. And I still remember doing the interview with him when he was talking about, well, Mark, my dad, Lloyd Bridges, he's done it so long. He would put all these words. My brother, Bo Bridges, just like in case you didn't know. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I know who your family is.
Like, yeah. We got the whole Bridge family.
Yeah, and it couldn't have been more present, of all the artists that I've had the pleasure of being around, pre-pandemic, obviously, that he was just there and just, actually connecting with me. And here's somebody who's, been nominated, 6 times, I think, for Academy Awards, won one. And he doesn't need to be like that. And I love Crazy Heart. I mean, that's one of my favorite films ever. And the fact that he's a musician first before he became an actor. And so, like, if I could do anything with him, which would probably be like a music thing, just because of my music background, I got shit for acting background or film background.
Same.
And yeah, just knowing, unfortunately, what he's going through. Hopefully, he pulls through with what he's dealing with right now. But that whole thing again of don't meet your heroes. Sometimes that doesn't work because I met one of my heroes and he was fucking awesome.
Right.
So
that's so good to hear too.
That is great.
Oh man.
Yes.
He is a nice guy. He lives in Santa Barbara where my family they just moved, but he would send in it was probably his aide or something, but he would send in this artwork every year that would support the arts in Santa Barbara, and it was usually just a little
that's so good
sculpture. And then it had Jeff Bridges. He'd sign it. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
seems like a nice guy.
Whenever people have stake in, where they live or where they're from, or just it's, I don't know. It's just good. It's you're not way up in the ether of whatever weird fame cloud you're in. Right. You're still connected and plugged in to the things that you actually care about and to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback on that, Katie, I can tell you that when I saw him play live twice with his band, Jeff Bridges and the Abiders.
Nice, because of the Abide.
Yeah, that we were backstage, and the person that he had open for him was a local Seattle musician that used to be homeless. And I don't know how they came across each other, but he was back there, and he introduced this gentleman to the rest of us that were backstage meeting Jeff. And I recognized that guy because he used to be around the Seattle Center area, just kind of playing for, change.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so that's who he had open his show in Edmonds.
That's amazing.
That tells you a little bit about the man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I just like when people are good people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just get
when
so
people that you
about.
respect are just actually good people.
You're oh yes.
Yeah.
See, everybody, it's possible to have
Mhm.
integrity and
To just
you know,
be
talent.
nice.
Yeah. Just
Oh man.
just be a decent person, regardless of what your stature is in life. Oh,
That's that's great. I want to add two more. Is that okay?
absolutely.
Yeah,
There's no
it
rules
is.
here.
Because I got barely
We're lawless.
talking about like
Freedom.
about Jeff Bridges and everything. I got the extremely fortunate opportunity a long time ago to do background work for a film. And that film was called Hail Caesar, which was directed by the Coen brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to
that
stand
movie.
right next to them. And it was fucking amazing. I was just like standing, like I was like, and the thing is, I got like a little bit of screen time. You like if you blink, you'll miss it. But it's like this moment where George Clooney is like walking through a bunch of slaves, and I'm one of the slaves, and I've got like this crazy wig on and stuff. And he just walks by me, and I'm just like sticking my face up there, just trying to get noticed or something.
Hi, Mom.
But
Hi, Dad.
exactly, basically. And but there was just like this moment where I was like, we were just listening to both of them talk to us and tell us what they needed us to do. And I was like, I just want to be more intimate with these two guys and see like the more detailed process of how they make movies.
Mhm.
Because their movies are still some of the greatest ones ever made. Like The Big Lebowski, fantastic. There's another one, Inside Llewyn Davis is still a movie that I've seen 20 times and I'm going to watch it 20 more probably. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was fantastic.
Dude. Yeah.
Just every movie that they have made to me is just like been a home run in my opinion. Especially Lady Killers. Oh my God, what a great movie. But yeah, oh God, I just want to work with them so bad. So if they happen to stumble upon this and see me, then just find me.
Here you go.
Guys, like, I can memorize lines and stand where you need me to stand. We're good.
We should definitely put that out there in the universe.
Yeah, Ballad of Buster Scruggs is fantastic too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, how good was it?
It was so good. Just I don't know. I love anything Western too. Like I just rewatched like Silverado recently and like just Sundance Kid and a bunch of I'm in like a phase right now. So but yeah, Ballad of Buster Scruggs was
going down
excellent.
like that is a great phase to go down though, because every once in a while you do have to go down the Western phase. And that's actually like what I'm
revisiting, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I found Hell or High Water, like with Jeff Bridges. It's like this is like a perfect modern Western. Yep. It's so good. It's like bank heist and running from the law and outlaw, and it's just like it's all these great things just all happening all at once. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's also like Westerns have defined so many tropes for so many movies, and not just American movies, but like you get like spaghetti Westerns, like Italian movies. You get like there's been a lot of trade between a lot of like Japanese movies and like American Western movies, and like influencing each other back and forth through time. And I just I don't know, I love that shit. I think it's so cool.
Yeah. No, and like what is it called? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the latest Tarantino film, was just like there were just so many like Western aspects to it.
Yes.
You know?
Like you can pick it out, totally.
Yeah, and like one of my favorite things, because I like mainly what I follow on Instagram are like movie set memes stuff and like dog Instagrams. But one of them brought up it's just facts about movies that happen. And one of them was whenever Brad Pitt is walking through that abandoned town in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he has his keys hanging from his waistband. And you hear that like, and I was reading about it and it said that Tarantino made that purposeful to simulate the sound of spurs walking through a Western town.
That's cool.
And I'm just like, God damn, how do you think of that small of a detail to make such a big difference?
Yeah, and it's
Like,
like
it's insane.
that's the type of shit that is like drilling into people's like whatever their like cultural literacy is, and just like things you don't even. It's like making them think of things without them knowing they're thinking of things, you know, and that is amazing.
I love
it's all subliminal, and it's amazing.
Very cool.
Wow. Captain Blackwood, I don't know if you already left, but thanks for joining us and have a good
Bye.
night. I know you already took off.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with the four of us here. How about The Hateful Eight? I remember seeing that, but I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, I saw it. It's such a great
That one's
little
not my
like.
favorite.
It's not my favorite, but it's such a cool little whodunit, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it all takes place in this one little spot. The cinematography is great, you know. But I absolutely agree. It's not my top favorite of that whole catalog.
Yeah, but there's still like really cool nuggets, you know, and it's no matter what, like you can find like the depth, and you can find like the interesting tidbits in all those movies.
Yeah, you find all the depth in Kurt Russell's mustache in that one.
Yeah, it's just right in there.
It goes right in there. So, yeah, Inglourious Basterds is absolutely fantastic, though.
Dude, Italian.
Gorlami. And there was actually one thing I found on the internet that was really funny, where it was somebody holding up their fingers like that, and then somebody holding their fingers like that, and everybody below was like, you know what the difference is. It's like, yep. Speaking of Inglourious Basterds, it's like, yeah, that's where disaster strikes, all right in there.
Devil's in the details, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Carl, with your acting background, I know Nicole, you've done some as well. Because I've been reviewing films the last, 9 months or whatever for for various companies. Do you ever know, like when you're actually on set, you know, doing your part, no matter how small or how big, if you're on a shitty production? When I reviewed some of these films, I'm like, these people must know that they're a part of something that's just a paycheck that's not very good, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's why I'm asking people who've actually done it.
Of course. Everything I did, well, not everything. Almost all of it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, so much of it's just hack.
You got to go through a lot of shit to find something good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and the thing is, there are some times where you're on something, and while you're shooting it, while you're in the middle of it, it's fantastic because you've read the script, you have your own idea of what it could possibly be, but then when the edit comes out,
dude,
it's just all
that's like what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. The edit is so you can have like the best possible raw footage.
Yeah.
Or you could have the worst. Yeah. And the edit will make it.
Exactly.
Amazing.
And no, and it's like there are some times where you'll be on something, like I've been on projects where the production value is up to the sky is the limit. Like we have explosions happening and cars flipping over, and then you see the movie and it's just like, well, this would have been cool in 1982. But then there are other things where I've done where it's just two people talking back and forth about like very abstract things. And then you go to the premiere and you see it and it's like, holy fuck, that's insane.
Oh, wow.
Like, so I feel like you have an idea, like everybody will have an idea in the moment of what it could be, but you're never going to know until it finally comes out.
Okay. That makes, I've just had a couple duds recently, and I mean, like, and I'm really, really mindful of the fact that someone's being creative and that they have zero budget to work with, and that's okay, because sometimes things still come really, really good out of those situations. But damn, some of them I'm like, you must know this is just shit.
I'm sure the people that made Jack Frost like thought the same, like knew that as well.
Oh my god!
I don't know if y'all seen that horror movie, but it's exactly what it is. but like
written on the tin.
But it's so good at the same time. Like you can't look away. But I would say that it really just depends on like what you're working with in that moment, because there are sometimes like, yeah, you know that you're working on something that's garbage, but then at the same time there could be something that just has amazing potential and you can't see it because you're from a different point of view, you know?
Right.
So yeah, but everything I've worked on has been great in its own way. Like whether it's been a horrible experience and I've learned something from it, or a great experience, but it didn't turn out great, but I still had so much fun making it, you know?
Okay. All right. Let's see. Industrial Girl had this comment came through. If you could have contributed a song.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, any James Bond movie, the song.
Yeah, the opening, like that would be sick.
Insta fame.
I want to be in the orchestra, the pit orchestra for a Pirates of the Caribbean movie really bad.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Because Hans Zimmer writes some mean cello parts.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. You guys know, mine's a little bit weirder, maybe, but my favorite score currently is the score for the movie Phantom Thread.
That's a good movie.
I would love to be just any part of that. Like, I'll get you coffee, but like, because Johnny Greenwood that did all that writing, and I don't know, that's just my current geek out movie score.
I'll have to check it out.
Oh man, Phantom Thread. Yeah, let's add Daniel Day-Lewis to the list.
Yeah,
as well. I want to be his protege.
Yep.
I want him to teach me everything that he's got, and
it's
carry on his lineage.
crazy.
You know. Oh man.
Very good.
I can't. Yeah, it's just. I'm not. It's like I look at him in a movie and I don't think Daniel Day-Lewis, which is like amazing. Like that's the best way I can describe how good he is. Like I'm not thinking of the actor. I'm just like in the story.
Yeah, you have this character in front of you, and like there was a interview I was watching with Paul Thomas Anderson, like directing him in Phantom Thread and There Will Be Blood, and he said it was fantastic because he's not working with an actor, he's working with that character. Like he doesn't have to talk to the, but at the same time, it's like I feel like he's the only one that can do that.
Yeah, or else it can be maybe just like really annoying.
Yeah.
Like as a director or as a producer or something, trying to work around, you know.
Yeah, it's like who do you think you are, Daniel Day-Lewis? It's like, well, I'm trying.
Yes.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, that method stuff I feel like would be very tricky.
Yeah. Method has gone down a rabbit hole, you know. It's gone down.
But you elaborate. Like,
no, like in the chat they were talking about that earlier. I don't want to sound like a dick here, but there are some people that really fuck the method up.
Oh yeah.
Because the method is such a delicate thing to work with. It's such a thing that if you use it the right way, it can make a performance that could change somebody's life. But if it's used the wrong way, it could just annoy the shit out of the entire crew. That's it.
Right.
And
yeah,
there are some people that I've worked with and that I've seen on set as a crew member and that I've heard about that use the method to try and enhance their performance. And Jared Leto. Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
I mean, but is he really? He's not doing the real thing. He's just being a jackass, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it enhances your performance, great. But if it's fucking everybody else up, then you're just
you have
making
to have that
something
self-awareness, awful. You know,
yeah.
like
exactly.
Method acting's kind of like religion. Like keep it yourself.
Yeah.
If you're doing that as you're studying the character, keep it to yourself. Otherwise, you're just fucking being weird around everyone. Okay.
Exactly. And you and if that's a part of your process, go do your process. Make it work for you. But your process doesn't have anything to do with those people over there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like, again, I'm not an actor at all, but it sounds like a very meditative thing where it's like you are having to like bring your brain into a different space
by using physical. It's by using like
so it's like the outside portion.
You're actually putting yourself
like really...
into the physical space of the character. Okay. So it will put you in the mental space of the character. So if the character smokes, you might start smoking, or that's a really stupid example, but that sort of thing.
No,
like
that's the idea.
Point across.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Like with it's like basically
the doing translates to the inner whatever.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, there's not one quote unquote method. There's not the only thing that Stanislavski has talked about. There's different things like Uta Hagen had talked about doing, and Lee Strasberg, one of the great acting coaches, talked about doing like sense memory. Like you have this moment in the scene where you need to think of this. So you think of this one smell that you had when you had this traumatic experience over here. But then there are other people like David Mamet that talked about how that actually takes you out of the moment and kind of inhibits the scene, so to say. So basically, there's not one way to do it. You just need to figure out your own way that works for you and just go with that. Because I absolutely agree with all of their points of view. And from all of that and from the many amazing coaches that I've worked with and that I've gotten the opportunity to just listen to, it's just like, that's why there's a million books on performing alone, because there's not one way to do it.
Right. Makes sense.
So it's fun.
Yeah. I love acting. God.
It's infuriating and awesome all at the same time.
Yeah. I can't imagine like that whole, the whole concept of it, like terrifies me. And it's so funny because you think like if you're a performer in one way, it's easy to translate or whatever, but it's just such a different portion of your brain. And so like it's personal in a lot of ways that music isn't, and music is also very personal in ways that acting isn't. But it is just wow. I don't know how else to talk about it.
Man, yeah, I love acting.
Yeah, but anyway, I do have to go. The 9 o'clock Cinderella bell is tolling for me.
Oh well,
but
thank you guys.
I expect to.
It's the midnight.
I know when I.
Oh yeah, it's later there. Oh man.
When I talk to you, I expect to see you in 6 hours at 3 a.m. and maybe I'll log back in then. And yeah, you better keep going.
You just handed it off to us. That's not.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going
Boundaries.
bed.
Hashtag.
I'm going bed. We're done. We are done.
But yeah, everyone, it was so great to like meet you and speak with you. You guys are incredibly talented. And Mark, thank you for like putting us all in a space together. So we have like this output currently.
So cool.
In our creative lives.
It was nice to vent for a minute.
This is super awesome.
That's what we do.
Creative therapy, guys. We got
creative therapy.
Yeah. We should start charging.
Yeah. We each charge each other $20.
Right, charging each other.
So we'll just like each send each other like around the table here. Yeah.
It's a thought that counts.
It was the stupid thought though.
Thank you so much, Katie. We really appreciate it, and stay safe over where you're at, and keep doing what you're doing because you're fucking awesome. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I try to be. I try really hard. All right. Bye, guys. Great to talk to you all.
Bye.
Are we all good? Okay. Good night, everybody. Everybody.
I think so.
Okay.
What?
Even?
I should probably go too.
Yeah, because
you're
on the East Coast. Yeah, it's past midnight.
It's definitely late for you, and I gotta eat some dinner.
Ooh, you gotta eat if you have.
I'm on an empty stomach here, so.
Okay.
With me and my first world problems, you know.
Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, thanks you guys.
Thanks for having me. Oh my God.
Thank you, Industrial Girl.
Yeah, everybody.
So much fun.
been a great first fun table of the new year. So
Yeah, we got to do the first one.
First of many. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you the next time.
Okay.
All
Good
right.
night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.